Wild ass question.
Can I get my question answered, please?
What's the
Do you really
question?
want me to say this on stream?
I
No,
mean, is
you
it
don't.
like mad inappropriate or like?
Yes.
Here,
Nah.
I'll mute you. Go ahead, say it. They can't hear you. Say it. There is no way you just said that. I'm glad I didn't mute you. No, I'm just playing. I did. What the fuck? Yo, bro,
I'm gonna get
what?
regardless.
Say it again
Dude,
then.
I would.
Huh?
Say it again then.
Do you want me to say it towards Harlan?
No.
I mean, I got you unmuted this stuff, so like, if you want to say it.
No, I gotta see this reaction live.
How do I want this to look? Harlan. Wait, do you want me to say your name or not?
No, don't say that. No, don't say the question regardless.
But y'all are waiting for me to say it. Like, what?
No.
I wouldn't say I'm waiting for you to say it. No, it sounds a little weird, but you know, if you perchance do say it, then you know it just happens.
No, don't say it at all. No, Tristan, your reaction live was crazy.
Did you see it?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah. Brother. No, brother. Okay. I'm about to start it, guys. All right. Finna. Is my shit lagging or no? Because on my side, it fucking low key is.
it's like literally like not. It's literally a couple seconds behind on words.
Okay.
Like
I'm about
literally,
to start
it's
it.
crazy.
Good. Okay. I'm starting it, guys. Are y'all watching? Are y'all paying attention?
Yes,
Are
yes.
y'all
yes,
paying
yes.
attention? All right, I'm starting.
Was in the room when they were talking to her. It was so cold in that room. I know, dude. They had me sitting there and I was so... Dude, they took away my chocolate.
My
Isabel,
chocolate!
because remember, Isabel is the one that primarily wants
Sorry.
to kill John. Isabel had asked Lois, the little artist, to bring chocolate and Dr. Pepper. Okay, Lois brings it, gives it to her. And now Isabel is like, the chocolate you gave me? They took away my chocolate. And Lois goes, no. I was able to like eat a part of it. It was like a part of the big bar, but then that was it.
Dude, I can't.
My chocolate. No, I was able to eat like a part of it, like a part of the big bar.
Lois is so upset. And she's like, bro, I wanted to come back to second period so I could have nibbled on some of it with you. That was my main goal. Some netizens have found it ironic that the two are friends because Isabel Valdez is kind of a bigger girl, I guess is how you would describe her. And then Lois Lippert, she had a Twitter account that heavily promotes, is pro-Anna, pro-ED, engages in quote unquote fatspo. Fatspo is basically described as quote, fatspo is when people with EDs use a picture of a person bigger than themselves as inspiration to continue with their eating disorder or not becoming fat like the person in the picture. So some
Kinda reminds me of
netizens found
Mackenzie
it
Show.
ironic and they made it a big joke of whether or not Lois Lippert used her own friend Isabel Valdez as fatspo. Essentially everything about this case like makes you want to
She looks
spiral into
mad
a depressive
different in the
state.
court photo.
Just
Holy
every little
shit.
rabbit hole leads somewhere worse. But on Lois Lippert's Twitter account, she would post a lot of pro-Anna things, as well as she would document throwing up in the toilet, and then she would stick her hand in the toilet bowl and play with her throw up like it was slime and post videos of it. There's also an unverified Tumblr account, and I cannot tell you if this is real, okay, but apparently this is Isabel's unverified Tumblr account where she posts, I love being fat. Everyone is significantly smaller than me, and I love small people. I love small boys. I love the thought of beating them up and breaking their bones and then just watching their bodies bruise. I want to touch them all over. I want to see them resist. Probably the first time I felt these, dare I say, erotic pleasures was in or around 5th or 6th grade. I remember in 6th grade, I would go up to people and hug them tightly. I loved feeling them push me away and struggle. I loved the way they yelled at me after.
Dumbass can't even spell small right twice, bro. This nigga put smart. Sorry.
I can't be certain that this is Isabel's account, but it's in
No
tune
way.
with the picture of her holding up John, almost like she's about to slam him up against the wall. I don't think that there's any debate that both of these girls are struggling with various mental health issues, but I do think a lot of young girls at that age are. They don't go and try to resurrect a school shooter. These girls, they even gaggle about what it must have been like for John. Lois is giggling, imagine being pulled out of class And yeah, some girl was planning on killing you. He's probably gonna be like he's got to be told. Like they can't. And Isabella's like, yeah, I wrote him a note, and I was like,
And I was like, yeah, I'm not guilty for my actions, but no, I was like, I don't feel guilty for my actions, but I feel guilty on how you were going to feel. Because honestly, I don't fucking care.
She gave him a letter?
she wrote him a note, but I don't think it was. I mean, it was never given to him. Isabel giggles and says, "So are we gonna become one of those lesbian couples now in jail?" Lois looks at her. Yeah, and you could be the butch. And they're giggling, and Isabel's like, "Yeah, hey, this is my bitch. Stay away." Yeah.
They're doing that much in 30 minutes?
Yeah. And
They
then
don't even
there's
catch a break and
no.
think about what's about to happen?
No. And then there's silence, which the lesbian couple love does not last very long because when talking with the officers, Isabel already ratted Lois out.
Damn.
Okay, the police officer is even writing in his report because usually when you have teenagers and they're best friends and they're trying to commit a crime, I would say that there's maybe, I want to say like 3 hours in which they might resist ratting each other out. But the police officer writes, Isabel abruptly stated that Lois helped her sharpen the knife. Isabel is explaining to the officers and the assistant principal that they were in the bathroom trying to sharpen the knife. And according to Isabel, they ran the knife back and forth along the metal pipe in the bathroom. And then they were trying to use the knife to cut Isabel's shirt to determine if it was sharp enough to do the crime. Lois then attempted to cut her stomach in an effort to see if the knife could cut her skin. Isabel stated that Lois told her that she didn't think the knife was going to be able to cut through because it couldn't cut her stomach. But it's not like Isabel really needs to quote-unquote rat out Lois when there's already quite a bit of digital evidence against both of them. Isabel's plan was to either slit John's throat or stab him in the stomach. There was no getaway plan. Then she was going to smoke a cigarette in the bathroom before going to jail and sprinkle flowers on his body or to his funeral. It's kind of unclear which one. But Isabel, the night before, had been messaging Lois over Discord saying things like, it's going to be over by tomorrow. If you have some gloves, bring them for me. Bring latex ones. I'm bringing a trash bag, wipes, and some other things. I'm gonna go away anyway. I have incriminating shit on my phone. Holy shit. I'm gonna make a blood ritual for Adam Lanza LMAO. Everyone who prayed on my downfall is getting their wish. I hugged my parents extra tight today. I feel kind of bad for what's coming. He was at fault because he never got redacted to talk to me. If I had him, I wouldn't have been like this. Why? Why, John? Why? Why redacted? Why? I need to break my hard drive later. Do you have any extra white shirts that I could use? And the two of them are also, Isabel and Lois are reportedly married on Facebook.
What?
Yeah, because you know how you can just like marry someone. But that's not the important part. The important part is their anniversary date is April 22nd, 1992, which is an oddly specific date. So I tried to figure it out, and it's not the date of Sandy Hook or Columbine. It's actually Adam Lanza's birthday. But in the back of the police car,
That nigga looks so
Isabel is
creepy to
again
me, bro. Every
ranting
time they
about
show
how the
this
police
fucking
are treating
picture.
her like she's this dangerous criminal. And she says,
Dude, they had me going out to the bathroom, and they had this lady standing in the stall, and they had like 2 other people.
In the stall?
No, not in the, yeah, one of them was standing in the stall. The other 2 were outside waiting. You think I'm gonna be able to fucking run away?
so Isabel is making a joke at, I guess, her physique. I got too scared to ask them to go to the bathroom. I low-key still have to go. So, by the way, Lois Lippert kind of talks like this the entire time. And Isabel turns to her. I only went twice because they searched me every time and they made me take off my shoes and my socks off. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't ask them. I don't want to do all that. You gonna bend over and cough for me? Bend over and cough for you? Is that what they do? Yeah, they look at your asshole and see if anything comes out. Isabel complains at how uncomfortable it is to be in the back of the police car and states,
Dude, I should have done it in the morning.
so now she's saying in the back of this recorded police car that she should have killed him in the morning and not waited till after second period, because if she had done it in the morning, she would have been able to kill him. And Lois is like, yeah, dude, he was right there. I was following behind him.
What is happening?
Yeah.
With Google Play Games.
Dude, his reactions kill me, bro. What is happening? I'm saying. What is going
About
on?
how when they were interviewing her, she kept laughing, even though it's not funny. But quote, they kept on saying 6'7". Oh, I laughed at 6'7", dude, because they were talking about my grades and stuff when it first started, and they were like, "Yeah, was the 6th or 7th grade? I did the 6'7" behind my back." So she's handcuffed, and she said she's doing 6'7".
This is like, I don't even know what is happening.
Some
Yeah.
shit Madison would do.
Lois finds this so funny and she says, "Stop making me laugh." Lois explains later that she did mention to one of her friends that Isabel might try to do something on Friday, which is vague, and she reassures Isabel she's probably thinking that you're going to self-exit. Oh, that's stupid. I'm not self-exiting. Then in a voice that would indicate maybe it's from a meme or something, but she says, killing yourself is for R words. She says the R word. I'm not a stupid R word that gives up. Please.
Killing yourself is for retards. I'm not a stupid retard that gives up. Please. I am retarded though.
I am R-worded though. Fuck. Lois tries to comfort her. Not a stupid R
Dude,
word,
the way
bro.
Stephanie has him,
Aw,
bro.
thanks.
It's
One of the most
funny,
damning
bro.
pieces of evidence against Isabel is a journal entry that's written in the style of a bad movie plot where the killer fesses up to the murder, hides the note for it to be found by the main character at the end in the bottom of the underwear drawer. And it reads, "It was just like any other normal day. I swear nothing seemed off until I remembered him. Oh, John, how much I loved you. Today was finally the day. You're so worth it. Fuck. We were leaving second period. I grabbed him. I don't know what happened, but I just started talking. Oh, you're so beautiful. The cutest boy around. I loved him dearly. I would ruin my life for him, and that is very much what I was doing. I was able to get my hands on some chloroform. It knocked him out cold. It was absolutely perfect. I was already in the bathroom with him. He hadn't woken up yet, so I was just waiting. He was so small, so precious. I'd been waiting for this for a long time. Slowly, he woke up. I saw those beautiful eyes I much adored. Finally, up close, he was absolutely perfection. Hi, sweetheart, I said without thinking. He looked extremely disturbed. I don't blame him. Who wouldn't? LOL. He didn't speak, just looked in terror. I pulled the knife out of my bag and held it to his throat. I saw the fear. I saw his breath hitch. It gave me more adrenaline. And she spells adrenaline ADRENALYN. Adrenaline. I pulled my phone out and started recording him. Can you smile for the camera? I held the knife closer to his throat. I watched as he forced himself to smile just for me. And that is where she ends this weird, bizarre note. It's presented as if she wrote it after the fact in this dramatized narrative form.
Right, and the cop found the note.
Yeah, it's like fanfic.
Yeah. So the police found it and locked it.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, well, you wrote this note, you wrote one to your parents detailing your exact motive, so, and you had a lot of the supplies that you're talking about.
Yeah. So what is Lois's whole thing? Like, what's her motive? Does she have a motive? Does she even care? What is she doing there?
I think she doesn't care. I mean, I think she clearly is dealing with lots of mental health issues, and I'm not saying that as some sort of excuse because, yeah, so did I at 14. She seems more like the follower, though I don't really like to give those labels. But it's Isabel is the one with the plan. I think if
just
anything,
use
maybe
mental
Lois thought it would be
excuses for
cool that
insanity.
she would go down.
You said what?
I hate people who use the excuse for insanity for like the mental excuse, like, oh, the reason why they're doing this. No, they're insane. In sense of,
She wasn't.
like,
She wasn't. I mean, she wasn't necessarily excusing it. She literally said she wasn't.
it's, I know
She
she's
just-
not, but like it should never
they-
be like, oh, they're going through mental. No, they're just.
I mean, no.
People
I mean, they are going through it, but yeah, like she said, like I wouldn't excuse it as for like, because like she also said, like we all went through some sort of
It should
mental
never be brought up though. That's what I'm saying.
problems. Oh, it's gonna be brought up. Yeah, because it does play a part. It does. Yeah, mental health definitely plays a part in this shit. But I mean, I do get what you're saying because it's people like to immediately, as soon as they get caught, what are you saying? What is she?
Huh?
What?
I'm
Nothing.
saying it's mentally insane. It's mental is in the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to plead insanity, bro, because it gives them a. I wouldn't say it gives them a
It's
lesser
an out.
sentence.
It gives them an out, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
'Cause I
But-
promise you, if you were mentally insane, or no, it's just who this person is at the end of the day. Nothing to
Yeah.
it. When it comes to court stuff, they're just gonna
God damn it.
like for. That's just who that person is at the end of the day. They're evil.
Yeah.
Down in notoriety, or maybe she thought that Isabel would never go through with it. But if Lois was the one to be like, oh, well, you can't do that, then maybe she wouldn't be seen as cool by her TCC community. And again, this is not to diminish any of the impact that Lois Lippert had. It seems as if Isabel is the one more so spearheading this. She's the one with the very strong reasoning of why she felt she wanted to kill John. But I think it's also just as disgusting that Lois is like, oh, I'm doing it for the thrill and for the fun, and like maybe I'll be known in the TCC community. Regardless, despicable. And I think one of the reasons that the investigators moved so fast on this tip was, well, it was their job. They had to. But also, they've had problems with Isabel prior to this. In fact, the police were at Isabel's house Thursday night for something else.
The night before?
Yeah, the night before.
Okay.
Okay, so the night before, the police go to Isabel Valdez's house because she'd been trying to do these like swatting calls on people. There was like 3 different swatting incidents. I think she was trying to swat the school or swat an individual at the school. It's a little bit unclear because they're all minors, but there's swatting incidents. Just know that. She's like trying to get someone swatted. They come, they grab her phone. Now, Thursday night, they go back to her house and they're like, hey, we have your phone. We could get a warrant and there's like so much paperwork, or you could just sign this consent form. Let us go through your phone. So they sign the consent form. The police leave Thursday night. They get a tip in early hours of Friday morning, and then it's like the last few sentences are, oh, I think their name is Isabel.
So after the police took her phone,
Yes.
she's on Discord messaging
On her computer, yes.
on her computer,
Yes.
messaging her friend,
Mhm.
saying, I'm gonna do this now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. She felt like she was already going to go away for the swatting incident. So she might as well do it now. Now is the only time that she can do this.
might as well add on an
mentioned to
extra
her that
charge.
She's anxious planning.
Yeah.
And maybe she shouldn't go through with it. But Isabel was like, no, I'm going to go through with it. And she even tells another friend about it Thursday night. I think she told, maybe it was just one, could have been more, but that one person does end up sending in that anonymous tip.
I mean, that tip really saved John's life.
Yeah. No, John's mom has done an interview where she said the person, I mean, she knows who made the tip and she's spoken to that child and she says the child is her hero.
The hero of this story is the tipster. That person is the hero of my life story. And I've told them that.
Now, Isabel tells Lois in the car, in the back of the police car, I did write a note to my parents. Did you write one to your parents? Lois is like, no, you should have. They said I'm going to be able to contact my parents when I get there. Me too. I haven't talked to my parents yet. I don't know if my parents even know what's going on. They don't. They haven't contacted mine either. My mom's gonna be yelling at me through the phone like, what are you gonna do? Why are you trying to kill this fucking kid? Lois is like, I think my mom's gonna be okay. I low-key think she's probably gonna fuck with it. When they asked me, like, do you really want to lie? Would your parents really want you to lie for Jimmy? Yeah, they would. Yeah.
When they asked me, like, do you really want to lie? Would your parents really want you lying for Jamie? Like, yeah, they would. Yeah.
And then remember earlier in the car ride while they were role-playing Columbine, Isabel looked out the window, gets distracted by the building, and she says, hey, my sister goes to therapy there. Then she starts going on this like very bizarre trauma dump where she says, my mom's going to see the police car and she's going to be like, damn. And then when I call her, I'm going to be like, hey, mama, that was me in the police car. You see me? And she says, you know, my mom was telling me about this morning because she was talking about somebody. And then she was like, oh yeah, this girl I know, she got criminal charges because she hit somebody and drove away with her car. And she was like, don't get any criminal charges because that messes with your record. I'm sorry, mama. Lois is like, I might get criminal charges, I guess. Which, like, it's okay. We get them together. Okay, yeah. Honestly, we're probably going to get a minimum of, 4 years or so? And this is when Lois starts to get disgruntled because Lois is the accomplice, right? So she's like,
I'm not getting 4 years. Yes, you are. You helped. Dude, that was like, I'm not getting that. I'm not doing that. Hey, by the time we're going to be out, we could go to community college together.
yeah, I'm not going to go away for that long. Low-key, probably a good
Yo,
thing you
Lisa.
didn't
I
actually
want
end
to.
up doing.
Yo. They think they're only getting 4 years, buddy. Only 4? You think you're only
Give
getting
him,
4
like 50 plus.
to conspiracy to murder, brother? You're getting more than that. You're probably getting like at least because they are young, right? They are young, so it plays a fact. It does, right? But I'd probably say they're at least gonna get like 8 to 10, because there's no way. I mean, they're probably gonna plea deal. They probably will. They're probably gonna have to sign something about like going to therapy or some shit for a good part of their life, but 4 years, buddy. You think you're getting 4 years? You know how fucking deep and detailed this is? And y'all are just self-incriminating in the back of the car because your Miranda rights have already been read to you. You're cooked. You're actually good. You're just good.
Anything, because imagine I actually did a So it seems like Lois is very disgruntled about the idea of getting that many years. Later, the topic is approached again.
Guys, my
and
heart
what
rate's at
Isabel says,
67 beats
my
per
family
minute.
isn't probably even going to visit me. Man, I don't even fucking care. I'll visit you. Isabel's confused. Huh? I'll visit you. Huh? I'll visit you when I'm out. Before you.
Damn, how many
Shut
huh?
up,
Yeah,
you're not
what?
getting out before me.
67
back?
beats per minute.
talk about it.
I could probably show it on stream.
Oh
the
my
most
god,
bro.
just get
It's
YouTube
not-
Premium.
How about you gonna fucking pay for it?
No.
Oh, okay, so let's be quiet like a good boy and watch.
It's redacted, but contextually,
No, I'm good.
it
You
feels
know,
like
I'll keep on
Isabel is
talking.
bringing up the fact
Yeah,
that Lois helped
you know.
sharpen the knife.
I'm still
and
watching.
Told somebody, I don't know, but Isabel is like, dude, they said that they were gonna take photos in the bathroom as evidence, dude. Like, I don't know what they're gonna fucking take though. Like, it was.
If I get
metal
popular
plate.
enough, I'll pay
what
for
are
it.
they supposed to take there?
But not right now.
So,
No.
Do we know how many years they are possibly facing
Oh yeah, like 20.
for
Yep.
both?
Yeah.
See? Damn.
Oh, they're
It's-
treated the same.
Yeah, I mean it's attempted murder. Yeah.
So they both got the same charges.
yeah,
For are they
tried as adults. Hmm.
they're tried as adults?
Yes. Hmm.
Oh,
And they were
wow.
denied bond or bail. Yeah.
So this conversation was released. What about like any interrogation? Any more police?
Not yet.
Oh.
I think that will probably be released later, because technically it's an open investigation.
Mhm.
So it'll probably come out during the trial, and then if you were to FOIA request it, you'd probably get all of that after the investigation.
But
is
they
over.
released this
Yes.
already.
Yes, because they showed it to the judge.
Oh.
Yes. This whole police tape was shown to the judge to be like, you cannot let them out on bail, and that's why it's allowed to be released to the public.
Interesting. I guess I'm really curious to know when is the moment that they realize,
And when they truly flip on each other.
yeah, or truly realize. I wonder if it's gonna happen anytime soon.
It already seems like it because when they were in the court hearing, they are supposed to be separated. They're not supposed to have any contact with each other. The judge has already stated that. However, they won't even like look at each other. And maybe they won't look at each other because their attorneys were like, don't fucking look at each other. Or they don't like each other.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine because these are very flimsy friendships that they've
Yeah.
formed on the basis of what? They're both dumb and idiotic.
Yeah.
And when they're talking about how at least they're not school shooters because that would get them life in prison, Isabel asks Lois almost nervously, well, how long am I going to get? I'm not going to get much time. And again, later Lois brings it up again. And I think Isabel doesn't like these mentions because Lois mentions, I'm probably not going to my involvement's not that long. So I'll be out before you. I'm probably not going to get life in jail because my parents are going to give me the best lawyers they can. And the police finally interject and they ask,
This
"Young-
is the first time they
yes.
jumped in.
Young lady, what's your name?
Which one? Isabel Valdez.
Isabel what?
Valdez.
Okay. All right. And yours, young lady?
Lois Lippert.
It's very clear the officers are listening to everything. And I also think that asking for their names was a good idea. I don't know if it would fly in court, but it's a good idea in the sense of these kids can't later say, oh, I was in a fucking state of psychosis. This was like shared psychosis. We're losing our minds. It's like, tell me your name. Tell me your date of birth. Okay, you're clearly in somewhat of a right state of mind
Yeah.
because the types of things they were saying, maybe a defense attorney would later say, yeah, they were role-playing Columbine. They were in a state of psychosis.
Yeah. And the fact that in the middle of the conversation he decided to ask for their
Yeah.
name when he already has
Of
their
course,
name.
they're in the back of the police car.
Yeah.
They've been arrested. Yeah, he knows their names. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I think
Got
everything
the,
is very intentional at this point. And it's very clear he's listening to everything. Because at one point, Isabel, later on, Isabel is talking in depth about, I kind of need to fart. Lois is like, please don't. Dude, I just keep needing to take a shit over there. And I was so embarrassed because they kept on coming into the stall with me. And when I sat down, I felt like I had to shit. And I felt like it was going to come out because I had diarrhea. And I still have it. And then it's silence. And the officer butts in, don't mess up my seat, please. You'll be out here cleaning it up. Oh, no, thank you. So Isabel's like, okay, I'm not going to diarrhea. Oh, no, thank you.
Don't mess up my seat, please.
We
I'll
get
get
there.
you out here cleaning it up.
Oh, no, thank you.
Dude, I used to have to clean. This is Isabel. I used to have to clean up my siblings' shit because my mom would be sleeping and my sister would literally take off her diaper and she would put it all over her bed. Oh, dude, I think there was like a year or two that she was like, my mom was cooking or while she was doing something, she would take her diaper off and she would pee on her bed. She would literally spread her legs open on her bed and pee. Oh, your siblings are wildin'. I know. My brother keeps on humping everything now.
Wildin'.
My mom tells him to stop and he just keeps on doing it. And then he goes,
I'll say
he
this.
goes into
I
my
kind of hate
closet
the
because
fact
I
that
sleep with my sister.
he says
I think I told
everything
you,
that
right?
she's about to show. I
I
don't
mean,
know
she
why.
just,
but
I mean,
like,
she just, it's just in case people don't hear it like in the actual tapes or anything.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. But I mean, she just does a great ass job narrating. Like, bro, she has Lois's voice damn near to a T. Like, because the way Lois keeps fucking talking is actually pissing me off. It's like, bro, they're just so disconnected from reality, bro. They literally, it's not gonna hit until they get fucking sentenced, bro. It's literally just not gonna hit until they get sentenced. Oh, this shit's almost over. Like, bro.
He goes into my closet and he puts on my sister's bathing suit. So I don't know. I think this seems like the point where some people
4
feel
years.
there might be a lot more going on in Isabel's life, clearly, because both the girls seem to be struggling a lot mentally. Again, not that it's justification for anything, but these are very specific stories she's sharing. Then later, Lois mentions that she has to pee so bad, to which Isabel tells her that the police officers aren't going to let her use the restroom when they get to the police station, to which Lois is like,
Dude, I have to go to the bathroom. I pissed myself. They gotta clean that up.
and Isabel says, my mouth is right here. There's a lot of overtly sexual comments being made. Lois later again mentions, I did not expect them to let us go into the same car and shit. Can't complain. Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. So much better than having to stare off into the distance and think of all your regrets. And then Lois says, I'm actually gonna piss myself. I can't laugh anymore. Yuck. It's bad. I've been holding it in for like an hour. You've been horny for an hour? No, oh, is it because I'm here? Later, Lois is complaining
Oh my
about how
God.
her strap keeps hanging off her shoulder, and Isabel offers, I'll pull it up with my teeth.
I'll pull it up with my teeth.
Just their entire demeanor in the car is, I mean, it's going to be a defense attorney's nightmare. At one point, the both of them are talking about how the comfort level of this car ride compares to the last time they were in a police car. It's like they're giving it Uber car ride ratings. Isabel says, dude, last time, they didn't even put me in handcuffs. They just stuck me. They let me take my stuff, too. I was able to take some of my little ponies, my plush, and my phone, but then they took my phone away. They took all my stuff away because they were like, you can't have this in here. So I was like, okay, whatever. They're both charged with attempted murder and possessing a weapon on school property, and they will both be tried as adults. During their court hearing, they don't nearly look as giggly or as quirky as they did in the back of the police car. They were both present but separated during the hearing. Their parents were there. Lois's parents pleaded with the judge that if Lois is released out on bail, she would not be able to have any access to her electronics. She will be closely monitored. The prosecutors argue.
So did the parents get Lois the best attorney that she claimed that they're going to get her?
Does not seem like it. I think probably the best that they could, but I don't think Lois's parents are pulling in Brian Steele, you know, like I don't think they're,
Yeah.
which is
But
such
they
an
are
odd-
in the same jail.
Yes.
Interesting. So they can talk to each other freely then?
No, they cannot.
Oh, they cannot.
Yeah,
They
they're
cannot,
not
right.
allowed to be near each other. They're not allowed to communicate with one another.
None of that shit.
Now, the prosecutors argued that the young ladies exhibit callous nature, sociopathic attitudes. They say that the concept of murdering another person to resurrect a school shooter is unfathomable. And they show the judge the police car footage to argue that they cannot be released out on bail. The judge states that their clear lack of remorse proved that they were a danger to society. She says,
I don't think there's anything that I could do that would keep the community safe. And it's clearly a dangerous crime. All the elements, I think, have been met. The video that I watched, they thought this was cute. I don't want her on the internet talking to other young folks about this. It's too dangerous.
and so for that reason, I think that there's a real risk to the community that I just can't fix. And both of them were denied bail.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they would probably go back on Tumblr and Twitter and say a bunch of shit.
yeah.
The 15-year-old boy's mother has done an interview, and she's asked,
To know that the allegations of two girls plotting, the allegations of them wanting to hurt and kill your baby, your son, as a mom,
I was destroyed. I still am. It's never going to be the same. I've broken down a lot. I still break down at work.
by the way, she works at the school. So yeah, I mean, she
What
says,
the
I still
fuck?
haven't been sleeping well. I haven't been eating, and I've been waking up on high alert, like 2-3 times a night. As for her son, she says, he's so brave. He's so brave and smart and talented. And the hero of the story is the tipster. And that person is the hero of my life. And I've told them that. If the tipster hadn't made that notification, do you think your son would still be alive?
I think that we would be in a very different no.
To make matters worse, like I said, she works in that school and she walks by the school bathroom where Isabel and Lois allegedly planned on killing her son every day. Isabel has since written a letter to the judge which reads, Dear Judge Chase, First of all, I want to say that I'm very remorseful for my actions. Being away from everything, isolated from people, the internet, just everything, changed my perspective on life. Growing up, I was exposed to the internet at a very young age, and all of that was bad that stemmed from it. The internet made me a horrible, horrible person. I was groomed and assaulted multiple times growing up by people my own age and people older than me. I've always denied anything happening because I've always felt like expressing this to anyone made me weak. Sometimes I still do. My own parents don't even know about it. I was also bullied growing up very severely, that I had been wanting to self-exit since I was 7. I never expressed this feeling because I felt like others would not take me seriously since I was so young. I spoke out on the bullying.
Sorry.
Attention to whatever I said, even if my parents spoke out. My parents and my family tried to help me growing up, but I never accepted it for some reason. I don't know why, but I always thought that they were against me. I wanted help, but I wouldn't accept it when it came. Later on, this just changed into thoughts of, quote, I could never be loved. My parents tried their hardest, and they wanted to give me a better life than they ever had. They're still trying their hardest, trying to get me home. Around the age of 10, I found joy in hurting those that hurt me, which I don't anymore. And around 12, I just enjoyed hurting others. But around 12, I fell into a very, very deep depression. She talks about how in 2024, she was getting better because she was placed on a psychiatric hold. And then in 2025, she relapsed. And quote, around the same time, I had met Lois Lippert, my co-defendant, and we both got worse together. I ask and pray that you have sympathy and compassion on her. In 2022-2023, I joined this group called TCC, which also had affected me greatly. This group, they all promoted violence. I felt seen there, but in reality, it was deteriorating me. I got groomed in this community. She explains that she joked around about killing John with Lois, but later, because they were both in such bad mental states, they thought it was okay. Now, to explain about John, I used to like him a lot because he reminded me of a shooter I liked, which I no longer do. I have multiple forms of anxiety, so I never spoke to him in fear of getting rejected. So I started following him around, which I'm deeply sorry about now. When I was detained, I started acting recklessly and edgy. I made everything worse than it was because I wanted help. I wanted to paint myself as more insane so I could be sent to some place where I could get help, but obviously it didn't work. As I've been here, I've been thinking about my life and my choices, and please ask you to please have sympathy on me, for I want to change, and I'm changing as a person. I'm not the same girl I was 3 months ago. I think it's a very conflicting feeling because a lot of netizens feel that at 15, you definitely know better. I mean, I think a lot of us can think back to when we were 15 and none of us had any sort of glorification of school shooters wanting to resurrect somebody from the dead, let alone Adam Lanza of all people, and then trying to kill a classmate, bringing a knife to school. Like, these are all very extreme thoughts, but I guess people are open to perhaps listening to Isabel's life story, but they also don't think that that's any excuse.
Yeah.
It's just a way to understand her actions and hopefully prevent other kids from going through the same experiences and acting out in the same way. And I don't mean to say acting out to diminish the gravity of what they were planning on doing, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the tipster also saved their life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
You know?
yeah. And I do think that some netizens have an annoyance with this and the letter in general and any sympathy towards the two girls, because it's almost become this weird thing where people in the TCC community think that being bullied is an excuse to kill people. Like, it gives you sympathy points. And it's like, do you know how many people have been bullied growing up? It doesn't give you the right to make grave, quote unquote, mistakes in the form of taking someone else's life. So it's like, yes, okay, maybe she had a rough life, but she was also planning on killing an innocent classmate who did nothing wrong, not that even that would warrant anything, but just because he looked like someone that she idolizes, that is a vile person to begin with. So I think that there's this pushback of people being like, no, you know, I was bullied. I'm not fucking going around trying to resurrect people. That is where the case is right now, with netizens commenting, what the fuck? How did they even come up with this? Others are commenting, the conversation in the back of the car is so casual. Others are saying they're laughing as a defense mechanism for being arrested. They're coping with it by laughing it off. It's likely how they respond to any other situation in which they're caught for doing anything else that's wrong, or when they're being laughed at themselves or being excluded, humiliated, bullied, whatever. As a teacher, I recognize the same behavior in students who know that they're going to bomb a test or don't do their homework or otherwise get called out. They'll announce it loudly, like, man, I'm about to fail, this test's so bad, or something like that. It's all about saving face, and the behavior becomes so ingrained that it becomes the default. They can't be seen to ever take anything seriously about anything that others take seriously, because it's the only way for them to win in so many situations that they repeatedly lose. I don't say this as an excuse for them, but yeah, I totally recognize those laughs. And others say they always laugh when they first get caught, but then they cry when the guilty verdict is read out. Others are just commenting, yeah, this kid's definitely grew up on Discord. Others are saying, you dropped your
Hold on,
crown,
hold on.
queen,
This
and
is
it's
literally
just like
about to be
a
over. Hold
dumpster
on.
lid. Always the weird looking ones. These are comments. Anyone who works in, near, or is friends with someone in schools understands this is not shocking. And about her Sandy Hook obsession, one person writes, what a weird obsession. I mean, you could have done something productive with your passion, like volunteer to help those affected by gun violence, but instead you did this? Shame on you. Others are upset about Fox Fever, saying, I refuse to believe she's Fox Fever. I love their art so much.
She's famous.
In the community that loves Zero Day. And then another comment states, she suffered from extreme mental illnesses. All the adults in her life failed her. She had a Twitter account dedicated to having an ED where she would post pictures of her throwing up into the toilet bowl after. Like, I feel bad. Others say, I'm not even mad. I'm sad these girls need help badly. How did they even get to this point mentally without someone intervening is heartbreaking. Heartbreak emoji. You can tell they have no idea the big picture of what they just did. Others are on the complete opposite side, writing death penalty to these ugly weirdos. Which is a bit extreme. Another one writes, they're teenagers, their brains aren't fully formed, and they'll just go along with just about anything to fit in. My guess is one of them had deep-seated issues and mostly pushed the idea forward, and the other one has issues of her own, but just mainly went along with it. To which someone responds, okay, but they still sound way less sane than most teenagers. But also, there's just really alarming comments, like, about the girls who wanted to kill that boy to revive Adam. If I saw a dude who looked just like Adam, I'd want to date him. Like, no need to kill him, for real. So that is where I leave you with this case. I will let you know if there's any updates with any of the future court hearings and the pending trial if they plead not guilty, or if they're not going to get a plea deal. What are your thoughts on this case? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, what are you gonna say, Harlan?
I did a essay about like what she said about like how people build habits, negative habits, or whatever, and whatever. I mean, it's kind of true. Don't get me wrong.
What do you mean?
Like what she said about like how people have negative, like every time they lose, they just start expecting it and whatever. I've studied about something similar.
I'm so sorry. I need you to elaborate a little bit more. What do you mean?
I
about how they
said
lose?
like right, like it's self-explanatory. People who always are in negative situations, right? They expect it at that point. So they're gonna be like, okay, it's just gonna happen. I'm gonna fail, and they just make whatever comment about it. That's what I mean. You know what? Never mind, bro. It's gonna sound stupid regardless to you. So never mind. Pointless.
Yeah, I was listening. I'm trying to comprehend. No, I think I know what you're saying. Like about people who, you know, a lot of negative shit happens in their life, and then they just expect it to happen. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's directly what I just said.
Okay. No, I get it.
And they make the comment about it publicly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just feel like with, you know, the shit that we just watched,
it's ridiculous.
I talked about it yesterday, you know what I'm saying? We're going to reiterate it again. It's just like people who are exposed to this shit at such a young age. Like, I mean, that's why raising a kid in their early years of development in like 11 through, I mean, literally all the way up till they're fucking 18 pretty much, you know what I'm saying? But especially from like 0 to like 13, 14, like their brain is just consuming so much information. So if they're exposed to something like this at such a young age, they're just gonna, it doesn't necessarily help, bro. Especially with the internet, bro. Like the shit that she said in the note that she came out with. If she truly does mean that, it literally just means everything I said about niggas who are online need to get the fuck off. It literally, I'm telling you, bro. Niggas get way too deep into this shit, and then they end up. It just causes negative, negative impacts. You know what I'm saying? The shit doesn't have any positive connotations, bro. Being on the internet way too much does not help. That's why, you know what I'm saying, they just need to crack open a book every now and then or fucking go hang out somewhere. Get offline, bro. Talking about Adam Lanza. Bro, that nigga looks creepy. He doesn't even look good. The fuck? Have you seen his eyes, bro? That nigga's not. What the fuck? Like, bro, hell nah. Like, to think about resurrecting someone by killing another innocent kid because he kind of quote unquote looks like a school shooter that you idolize, something mentally is not there. Like, we gotta sit here and take some damn time and get some fucking help, bro. And it killed me, bro. They're in the back of the car. I'm only gonna get 4 years. You're looking at 20. Like, what the fuck do you mean 4 years? You think you're getting 4 years for attempted murder, my nigga? Y'all have the murder weapon on campus, and then so much shit is incriminating with, let alone them incriminating themselves in the back of the car, bro. But all the shit that they have on their phone, bro, you cannot hide the shit that you put online. Even people that think Snapchat fucking hides everything. Bro, no, it doesn't. Just because it disappears on your phone does not mean Snapchat does not still have that shit. I promise you. It's like, I remember seeing one of the people. It was like another case with some dude. Like he was selling CSAM, right, on Snapchat, and the cops were like, "Well, let me see your phone and shit," right? And he was like, "Oh, it's fine. There's nothing on there," because niggas think Snapchat everything just goes away, and they're like, "Well, we found 3 terabytes of CSAM in your phone. You're cooked."
What? I forgot. What is he saying?
Hold on. I don't know if I can say. I probably could say the term, but I don't want to. It's child sexual exploitation material.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. Yeah. So it's like, bro, what the hell are we doing, man? What are we doing? That's why I said niggas need to get off of the internet, bro. It's too much going on. And I click back on fucking Discord and Madison is just decorating.
Told you.
Max, did you have any other thoughts you wanted to add on at all?
They're fucking stupid. That's all I gotta say. I don't care if they're insane. They're just stupid.
Yeah, this shit came from the heart. This shit came from the heart, bro. It's like fucking stupid.
Are in a certain place after death.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's like, but I hate when like these people who end up getting caught for the stupid shit like this. It's like, now you wanna plead insanity? No, you know what you were doing, bro. You know what you were doing. You literally know what you were doing. You literally know what you're doing. I'm so sorry. You know what you were doing, bro. And then that's why the cops are so smart, because they put them dumbass niggas in the back of the car with each other, and then they fucking self-incriminated even more. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? We gotta watch one more, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We gotta watch one more. If y'all are fine with that. Yeah. Madison, you should be. All you're doing is just listening, pretty much.
Look at my puppy. He's so cute.
What does he look like?
Yeah, fuck that puppy.
Shit is out of pocket, but he did not have to say that. To say fuck that puppy. Oh my god.
That's what you mean. I'm sorry, Madison. You have a
Repeated vaping as a teen can cause damage to your lungs. Really?
Acknowledge the comment.
No, bro. No. Like, honestly though, like these people need help, man. Like, genuinely.
Tonight's Halloween is coming.
Halloween is coming.
It is 3 months away.
Nigga, it's not even August.
You know how fast summer has gone by, bro? August is fall is literally here, bruh.
Shit, don't feel like it outside. Feel like I'm getting burned alive.
That's true.
feel like I'm getting cooked, crisp. I'm getting darker each day, bro. I don't want to. I'm light skinned enough. I don't want to get darker. Oh my god. I need to get rid of some of these fucking emotes. The fuck, like Treat J. The show game. That's that old. It's that old. The old thing we had. Oh man. But yeah, I kind of wanted to watch this one though. The 16 kids that were kept in a 12 by 12 foot room covered in feces. Why internet thinks mom of 16 is also. Why internet thinks mom of 16 kids is also a victim. I wonder how they're gonna make the mom look like a victim. There must be something that she was forced to do, or because 16 children. Ain't no way this is all the mom. Like, there's no way there's one mom. You popping on 16 kids, nigga, you fucking for years. I mean, which I get people who do that, but I'm saying like you're literally doing this shit on purpose now. Like I would think after kid number 4, you're literally doing this shit on purpose. And then 12 by 12. How big is a 12 by 12 room, bro? Like
12 by 12.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Why am I looking this up? How big is a 12 by 12 room? I kind of just want to look 144 feet. I just want to see what it looks like. Oh, hell nah. This ain't big at all. This is literally like for one person. Max 2 kids. Max 2 kids. What the hell? I was trying to like give me a scale, you know what I'm saying? Like classroom or like some shit. Like, nah, it's not gonna give me that. But nah, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Like 16. Kid number 4, bro. You're doing this shit on purpose. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a little bit of tequila mixed with
I
Sprite
got you.
on the rocks.
Give me some water.
No. You're getting a shot.
No, I'm not.
Alright, I'll wait for her to get back before I start it. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of want an Alani twin. Kind of want an Alani twin.
Fuck them, Alani, if they're not good for you.
They're really not that bad, bro.
They're bad.
Like, they're really not that bad. Like, Alani's have 110 calories. They're gluten free. They're freaking vegan free. They're all this other stuff.
They're bad. They're bad.
No, bro. No, they're not that terrible. All right, you're just hating, and I'm tired of haters like you.
No, they're bad.
Bro, stop hating. You can't even hate from outside the club. You can't even get in. You know what I'm saying? Why you hating outside the club?
I don't want to get into the Alani club. I'm good. We good over here.
What do you drink? Huh? What do you drink?
Water.
And that's it. That's all you drink. Nothing else. Only water.
No.
So what do you drink then?
Milk.
What the fuck? Ew.
Ew.
You just casually drink milk? You're like, you wake up in the morning, what a beautiful day.
Okay, now sometimes, like if I eat some scrambled eggs, I want some milk on the side.
Well, to be fair, me drinking milk is different than like everybody
No.
else drinking milk.
No,
You wanna
no,
know
bro.
why?
No,
Different, what?
no, bro.
Because
no.
when I drink milk, it's when I eat cereal.
Bruh.
I mean, but that's not necessarily. I mean,
That's not
okay,
true.
I drink my milk when I eat my cereal too. But I'm saying like, I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? You wake up in the morning and you want a glass of milk. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
like
ain't
the
gonna lie,
same
anybody
thing
that does
with-
that is psychopath.
That's you.
No, I don't drink milk
You
like
just
that.
said it.
Do you
Mark.
drink-
You just said
do
it.
you-
No, I
Do you
don't.
drink?
No, I
Do you
don't.
drink orange juice? You drink orange juice?
Yeah, from time to time when it's there. Not all the
Like,
time,
do you
but
prefer orange juice over apple juice?
yeah. Is there a problem with that? Everybody has their taste. I have mine. You have yours.
Almost threw up like on cam.
I
Oh.
love both apple juice and orange juice. They're so good.
Oh, but.
You act like it's like a terrible thing to choose.
All right, chat. We're watching 16 kids kept in a 12 by 12 foot room covered in feces. Why internet thinks mom of 16 kids is also a victim. I'm watching it.
I hate monkeys.
No.
By 9:45 p.m., the very
please stop, bro.
aggressive, bright
Please stop.
fluorescent LED lights are enough to drive anybody insane and give somebody a headache. especially if you've been inside this giant Dollar General store all day long with all the bright neon yellow signs, because of course that is the store's color. Ariel has been working at this specific location for the past 2 years, which, like a lot of other Dollar General stores and stores with the word dollar in its name, most things are not $1. The average price of an item at the Dollar General is around $2.50. But it is still cheaper than other stores, and it's one of the very few stores in this entire town of Hamden, Ohio. The population of the town is around 700 people. I wouldn't be surprised if Ariel has seen at least a good chunk of the entire population walk in, grab something, check out at her
700 people,
cash
that's it?
register. Since it is one of the few stores, I can also imagine that Ariel gets a lot of regulars. One particular family, the Siders, they always come in at 9:45 p.m. just before closing. You can usually smell them before you see them, and that's not meant to be in an
Smell
offensive
them
way.
before you see them.
Ariel and the Dollar General staff, they have seen families that were struggling, and I think everyone can agree it is better to buy a bag of rice for the kids than it is to buy shampoo if you really have to choose between the two. And Ariel remembers she and her colleagues would purchase hygiene products with their own money to give to the Sider family. But the next day they would come in and it didn't smell like they were using any of the hygiene products. So Ariel says they all kind of backed off from that point because they thought maybe the family was getting offended that they were offering them hygiene products. So maybe it's best to just back off and lay off. But Ariel did notice some really odd things about the Siders. You have the parents, they look to be in their 30s. They do carry with them the very distinct smell of cat urine. Sometimes they would come in alone, sometimes they would bring along a child or two. The children would always have hair in their face. Like, not just messy hair, but their hair would be covering their face and covering their eyes. You could not get a good look at their face. Ariel says the children would also stick very close to the parents, as close to them as possible, and it almost felt like to Ariel that the children were taught to never look up or make eye contact with others. According to Ariel, the family came in and would always buy the same few things. Sometimes they would purchase sugar once in a blue moon. Very rarely, not all the time, but like once in a blue moon, they would purchase diapers. But they're coming in nearly every day, so what are they buying? They would always buy the same two things: a jug of water and a decent sized bottle of vegetable oil. Water and vegetable oil. Water and cooking oil are usually staples in everybody's house, but I don't know how frequently one needs to replenish their oil. Would you need to restock it as frequently as you would a jug of water? Monday, June 29th of this year, Ariel sees the Sider family walk in and purchase their regular items: a jug of water and a decent sized bottle of vegetable oil. The next day, June 30th, Tuesday, she sees them on the news after they are arrested in connection to what has now been dubbed the Ohio House of Horrors case, where 16 children were found cramped in a 12 by 12 room, where there are more questions than answers now. The initial questions were, of course, is this human trafficking? Is this a human trafficking ring in the middle of nowhere, Ohio? Who are the 16 children? Who are their parents? Where were they born? How long were they in that room for? How did nobody notice? And what were they doing with the vegetable oil? This is the case of the Siders family.
Siders family. It's gonna get good, y'all. I'm glad it's only an hour because it's already been an hour. She gonna hit me with an ad? Stephanie, you finna hit me with an ad? She's finna hit me with an ad. Watch.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support
Oh shit!
all the bright neon yellow
Oh no, I hit the what you call it? Fuck.
forward to speak about the family.
What are you mad about?
Those are unverified individuals. They are not.
Yeah, what are you
Why'd you say it? Why'd you do it like that? I'm so sorry.
That's how you sounded like.
No, it was not. My
Yes,
my
it-
voice did not do that.
That's what it sounded like. I'm sorry.
Y'all
I'm
both
sorry, My
sound
voice cannot do that.
oh my god.
That's what
Are y'all good?
What you think.
Marlon, I have some things to say. But I can't say it because he's streaming.
Exactly.
But I'll say it anyway.
What that mean? What
That mean.
What
You ain't
that
doing
mean?
nothing. Ain't saying
What
nothing.
that mean? Mind you, 2 apples tall, bro. Let's get back to it.
Testifying in the court of law. They are not being subpoenaed. These are not sworn statements
Two
of
episodes,
truth.
crazy.
They're just like Facebook posts. I'm going to indicate when any of those we should be a little bit wary of. But with that being said, let's get started. I have never seen a house like this before. It is a big lot with a lot of green trees surrounding it.
The fuck?
And it's a small house, like 1,300 square feet, which that sounds nice. Like a little plot of land with a lot of green foliage. I mean, it probably could be nice, but it's also sitting directly across from railroad tracks. There's not even a fence, nothing guarding the tracks. Instead of looking out your front door and seeing your neighbor, you just see railroad tracks. And they're working railroad tracks too. It is considered a class 2 track, meaning run as needed. It's not inactive, but it is very low traffic, which is probably for the best. The houses sitting around the railroads, they don't look like they have the best soundproofing, and it could also be very dangerous for pets and kids. Nevertheless, June 30th of this year, 2026, Vinton County Sheriff's Office, they start making their way over to the railroad tracks. They're investigating a case, not on the tracks, but directly across from it in one of those small boarded up houses. Officers from the sheriff's office show up alongside Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations. It's unclear if that's how they always operate in tandem, but I will say the Vinton County Sheriff's Office does have 10 sworn officers. That's it. So it could be
10?
that. Like, they always need
There's only
backup. I
10
don't know.
officers there?
Now, this particular house, the officers
What?
are approaching, and likely it just hits them like a force field before they even enter. It's like the house is alive. It has a smell, distinctly cat urine.
A random
mixed
ass
with
cat.
Who knows what else? Others that have been there before describe it as a foul odor just emanating from the house. When you walk in the front room, the walls and the doors they look beyond battered. Let's say you don't shower for a few days and you've got all this like grime on your arm, and you just like rub your arm against the wall on repeat until the walls are oddly stained with grime. It's not like if you were to drag a big dark colored piece of furniture across the wall. It's grimy and it's inconsistent. It's splotchy. It's not just marks and scratches. It looks like a subway station, like filth on the wall. The house looks abandoned. There's trash on the floor. It piles up around the walls like some sort of mini landfill. And in the front room of this house is this hanging picture frame. It's like a portrait, but it's art. It's of a tiger. And it's a very odd placement and a very odd piece of decor, especially in a house that looks so battered that there's not even like a real meaningful piece of furniture or something to sit on. It almost makes the tiger painting hanging on the wall look like some sort of museum level artifact that's just waiting to be discovered. And right under the only piece of artwork in the entire place is a freezer. I don't know if it works. The entire place feels like a dump. There's bags of rice, like a small bag of rice, and right next to it is a can of roach spray, which I can't say is the most appetizing look. It's hard to tell if
Like
all
that
the
shit
black
help, man.
marks on the ground are cat hair, disintegrated trash, grime, feces, rat droppings. Like, it could be anything, but it is everywhere. It is the type of house where any movement in your peripheral vision is most likely a roach, and that's if you're lucky. Somehow the air feels thicker in a place like this. It's a small 1,300 square foot home, but it feels like it's fit an entire landfill inside of it. The basement is filled with trash. I don't know how to describe it, but the pictures that you see of it, if you've seen any sort of hoarding home situation, you may know the visual, but it's when the trash has been sitting for so long in an unmanaged pile, it looks like it's melting into each other. I don't know how it works. There must be some scientific reason, but if I were to put a plastic trash bag on my kitchen counter for years later, it would still be a plastic trash bag. But for some reason, when you pile it together with all these other buckets of unidentifiable substances, cardboard boxes, moldy clothes, it disintegrates to look like it is melting in an oven. As the investigators make their way through each room, they find a little 12 by 12 foot room. It's also trashed. I mean, it's filled with human feces, waste. Inside that room, they find 16 people, 16 children, ranging in ages, the youngest being 18 months old, which is just a year and a half old, to the oldest being 18 years old. They are covered in human waste with insect bites, scratch marks on them. They're all crammed in a space. 12 by 12, just to give you an idea, it is smaller than the size of a standard parking spot at your local grocery store, which is typically like a 9 by 18, sometimes 9 by 20 foot space. 12 by 12 is smaller than that.
That's crazy.
Investigators, they rushed to get all 16 children out of this house as safely as possible, first to the hospital. Some have to be flown by medical helicopters to local level 1 trauma centers. And it should be noted that authorities have said repeatedly, had they come a day or two later, someone could have died in that house.
I think if they would have waited another 24 hours, there was a very high probability that we'd be dealing with a death or multiple deaths of these children.
After safely taking all the 16 children into state care, they arrest every single adult in that house. 73-year-old Gary
hell no.
Siders Sr., 67-year-old
That nigga barely
Christina
here.
Lynn Siders, 36-year-old Gary Siders Jr., and 33-year-old Elizabeth Siders. 4 adults. So just to give you the family tree, Gary Sr. and Christina are married. They have a son, Gary Jr., who marries a woman named Elizabeth Siders. But when they were married, she was not a woman. She was 15 when they got married, but more on that in a second. So all 4 adults are arrested. They're charged with 16 counts of felony child endangerment. And at first, the speculation online was that this House of Horrors, that's what it's been dubbed online, like a lot of previous cases that have similar characteristics, but it must have been some sort of human trafficking ring. Otherwise, why would there be 16 children crammed into this small room? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Ohio authorities have come out to dispel the rumors and ease some of the tension. They state that this is not a case of human trafficking, even in the slightest, that there is no danger to the community or to society at large. So what is happening? Maybe the neighbors have an idea. The next door neighbor to the Siders says, well, first they were shocked by it because they didn't even know that there were any kids living in there to begin with. They never saw any children near the home, in the home. They thought it was just like 4 adults living there. Not 4 adults and 16 children. They thought it was just 4 adults, not 20 people living inside that tiny little house.
It's stupid that it's happening close to Wellston and Benton County. Benton County, I mean, you don't know what's going on in this world anymore.
The only thing people could find evidence that there were children indeed living in that house, because people are like, well, what if the neighbors are lying? What if the neighbors were complicit and they didn't report this and now they're trying to cover their ass? But when you look at drone footage and photos of the house, really the only evidence that you can see from the outside, and not really, is like this abandoned broken children's bike in the front lawn. But it looks abandoned. And then in like the brush, the grass, there is a children's book called Jonathan James and the What If Monster, which is actually a pretty good book about a little green monster that whispers negative fear-based questions into the main character's ear to hold him back with self-doubt. But it looks brand new. It doesn't even look red. And inside the house, when the door is open, there seems to be a grimy high chair that also doesn't look used at all. But it's grimy. The investigator says these folks were pretty good at hiding those kids. The Attorney General of Ohio says,
I didn't actually go into the room where the kids were. I just looked through the door. I can still smell. I can't get the smell. I cannot get the smell off of me or away from me right now.
The reported ages of the children are 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 11, 10, 8, 6, 5, 2 4-year-olds, a set of twins, 2 2-year-old twins, and 2 18-month-old twins. 16 kids in a
3 twins back to back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back to back. In this tiny little room. And people have made these like kind of like a graphic of 16 children laying in a 12 by 12 foot room. If they all laid down, they wouldn't be able to sleep. It just doesn't make any sense.
I feel like we should try to sit down.
It got stuffy. It got, crowded. We didn't know what to do with our arms, and we were all trying to just really be in the space and just think about what to kind of do and say.
Another neighbor says, kids, adults, he didn't even know anybody was living in that house, period. He thought the house was abandoned. He says it's wild that so many people were in that house. I mean, there was no movement or sound. Honestly, the house seemed abandoned, and that was a shock because we had never seen or heard anything from that house. To me, it seemed like they had them locked in there because I never saw a child in that yard. Or the people that was just in court, like that was the first time I've seen them. So if this is not a case of human trafficking, why were the authorities there in this seemingly abandoned looking house anyway? Did someone notice the kids and call the police? Weirdly enough, authorities have been very evasive about this question. No one has confirmed why they were out there in the first place, but it is believed that the police were investigating a case of indecent exposure where Gary Jr., so the younger one, 36 years old, was allegedly indecently exposing himself. According to court records, Gary Jr. is accused of exposing himself outside of his home to people other than those in his household on May 23rd, May 27th, May 29th, and May 31st.
Damn. Like, that's way too consistent, my boy. May 27th, May 29th, May 30th, and shit, the next month after first. Fucking what the hell?
To reiterate, as of right now, the authorities won't confirm that that's what they were investigating that day, but the warrant for the indecency charge was issued on June 30th, 2026, which is the day that they go to the house.
Oh, okay.
But they haven't confirmed it. So there are other rumors like floating around of why the investigators were at the house in the first place. But one forensic psychology researcher does state, when I see indecent exposure, it usually sets off a red flag in my head. In addition to intimate partner violence, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is also a tool to maintain power over a victim in an intimate partner violence relationship. I mean, this case looks like a failure of systems, both for survivor support and offender accountability. Ultimately, the children had to pay the price. One of the big questions in this case is, who are the children? Like, who are the parents of the children? Elizabeth Sider's attorney has come out to say that all 16 children are hers, but there are speculations online, which I'm going to get into. But he states that all the children are Elizabeth Sider's and Gary Jr.'s, which would make Gary Sr. and Christina Lynn the grandparents, Gary Jr. and Elizabeth the parents of all 16 children. That's what the attorney is saying. November 30th. Of 2022, so years ago, Elizabeth and Gary Jr. do have two more children that were not found in the house. At Riverside Hospital, Elizabeth gives birth to twins Bailey Lee and Faith Lee Siders. They were born at 24 weeks gestation, so they're really premature, and the twins were born with a condition where their faces and their chest are fused together in the womb. And they also share vital organs. They are conjoined. That is the more common way that people are conjoined, is chest and face. But typically that condition has a mortality rate exceeding 80%. For cases where the twins are unseparated, there's nearly 100% death rate.
Wow.
They were also born extremely premature and passed the same day of natural causes in the hospital. There were a lot of rumors circulating online that these children ended up dying in the house or they died under suspicious circumstances. That doesn't necessarily seem to be the case. They did pass in the hospital and their death certificate does list it as natural causes. But the timeline of this is kind of enlightening. I'm not exactly sure what it reveals, but it is shocking. If all 16 children are Elizabeth's, that means she's had 4 sets of twins starting from 2022 to now. There's a lot of children. The longest gap between Elizabeth having children, and again, this is if they are all hers, is about 2 years in between children, in between pregnancies. The shortest gap is closer to 11 months. We actually have no clue in total how many children Elizabeth has had because you have the twins that passed away in the hospital, and there are circulating rumors and speculations that Elizabeth had another child when she was 13 years old that passed away. So we don't know how many times she's given birth. And from then on has just kept having more children. And that begs the entirely new question of like, why? Literally, why?
Yeah,
If
literally.
these are all Gary Jr. and Elizabeth's children, why have more children? If you're not going to take care of them, why have them? What are the children even living off of? What are they eating? Remember the vegetable oil? There have been a lot of theories about the vegetable oil that they would purchase frequently, regularly at the Dollar General store with a jug of water. There are 2 theories of the alleged repeated purchases. The first theory is that that is what the children were consuming, vegetable oil. I will say that vegetable oil is typically a part of famine relief kits, but there is usually grain included as well. So you're cooking with a lot of the oil. Vegetable oil specifically has high calorie density and it's fortified with vitamin A, D, E, and K. And it's also softer and easier for malnourished infants and small children to digest compared to soy oil, corn oil, other oils. It's a bit softer on the stomach. So could they have been feeding the children vegetable oil? It's very hard to say. There have been reports that the family also frequented a food bank regularly to pick up food. So maybe they were cooking, although looking at like the alleged photos of the house, I don't think they were really doing any cooking. But maybe they were using the oil to fortify and calorie up some of the other food that they were getting at the food bank. It's unclear. I do think it would be a hard task to get enough food at the food bank to feed 20 people. So Maybe it is food, but maybe it's not. Another theory, or it could maybe be a double use case, which some people have said vegetable oil is a home remedy for getting rid of lice, which I can imagine is a problem in the household. Some netizens have pointed out that in the mugshots, Elizabeth's hair looks like it's just caked in oil and grease. Was she using it in her hair to get rid of lice? That seems like a very strange, prolonged treatment. Like maybe you buy vegetable oil once to try to get rid of lice and then you go to other tactics if it doesn't work. But to continuously do that for, who knows, weeks, months at a time. And there is a risk, by the way, like please don't do this at home, because there is a risk that when you coat your hair with the vegetable oil, it actually coats the lice eggs and preserves them, keeping them safe to hatch.
Oh.
Ultimately, as of right now, as of filming this, we don't really know what the vegetable oil was for. We also don't know how the children have been living, what they were eating, how they're still alive. In a press conference, the Vinton County Sheriff states,
most of our livestock was kept in better conditions than the children. It was extremely high presence, I'm sure, of bacterial and human feces. It was just a disgusting scene.
investigators are not yet fully able to even go into the house and further investigate due to the deplorable conditions. It hasn't even been deemed safe. The Attorney General of Ohio, I don't know what this man was thinking. I will say he said some incredibly problematic things when discussing this case. He says, we didn't know that there were going to be 16 kids in there.
It really looked third world. It's the type of thing that we're not used to seeing here in America.
Which is not only deeply offensive, I do think it's also incorrect. He keeps making comparisons to what he calls third world countries, or what we should better call developing nations. There are loads of people that live in impoverished situations in developing nations who treat their kids to the best of their abilities.
Yeah.
And then we were talking as a group about some of the evidence we looked at today, where they actually discovered the kids and found the kids. And it really, it's not that different than those old commercials you used to see of like kids in Africa, like just where they were covered in bugs and squat.
Really, brother? That's the best comparison we got? Just start talking about another country?
And had that like distant look in their eyes.
It's terrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. And again, we've got to make sure the kids are safe.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who is talking right now?
The Attorney General of Ohio. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what this man is saying, okay? We got to make sure that they're placed in good, solid therapeutic placements.
Some of these children couldn't even speak.
They looked like almost feral animals. It was terrible. So when we're talking reading and writing and education, we're talking a whole nother level of expectations here.
I do think that there is probably an intensity of emotion to try and convey to the general public of what they're dealing with, as well as the residents of Ohio, so that they know that there's going to be a lot of state care that needs to be poured into the 16 children. But I do think comparing victims to feral animals is just not the best comparison to make at all. But speaking of heinous conditions, there have been a lot of AI videos and photos circulating of this house. You see cages. Investigators have come out to say there were no cages. You see children being like locked in boxes, in cardboard boxes. Like there's just a lot of weird AI stuff.
There were pictures that the kids were in cages, that they were taped shut, their mouths, whatever. I don't understand why people put stuff like this on. It's not truthful, but I can't stop it, and all I can do is shrug my shoulders and say, why are we doing this to this, particularly to these victims, because they're going to be tarnished by this for a long part of their lives.
But there's also a lot of very realistic videos circulating of people who are filming themselves, technically, if this is real, breaking and entering and trespassing a crime scene. So you can see people who have gone out to the house and they're filming the outside of the house. It does very much look like the Siders' residence. They go inside, and just based off of the photos that we've seen taken from outside the house when the doors were open and we can kind of peer inside, it does seem like it is real. I can't verify it. And also, I will note that it is illegal. Law enforcement have not verified or authorized any images of the house, so I don't know how a lot of these people are publishing this type of media, but law enforcement has warned that people entering the property without permission could be committing criminal trespassing. So just be wary of that when you're out there looking online.
Want to strengthen your math skills? Try Brilliant.
Harlan, you should try Brilliant. Y'all are both mad quiet. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all niggas were asleep. I'm just not saying a fucking.
No.
Oh, she's gonna give me another ad.
In New York City, a
this
former
is the
judge
case,
is found
like
dead.
that I don't like.
And if it were
Said a case that you don't like? What do you mean?
Like the moral ambiguity of it, like bro, not ambiguity, but just like this motherfuckers do not know how to take care of people, and it's so easy to take care of a person. Like it's not easy, but like it is so in the sense of how do I say? It shouldn't. If you're not gonna don't have any children. If you don't know how to like, if you're just, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, bro, but something else has to be up. There's no way all of those are her children. And if they are her children, nigga.
That's crazy.
16 kids? And the shortest amount of time you went without cracking is 2 years? And they was probably still trying to go for one. And she had 4 sets of twins? Nico. What?
anybody else, it might seem like a very normal case of maybe he overdosed, maybe it was an accidental fall. He collapses in his mansion in New York City. This is the former judge. His body slides down his entire staircase until it comes to a full stop, and he ends up taking his last breath. Once his body is found, Alice Black, who is a rookie FBI agent, is assigned to the death investigation.
Yeah, it's the same video. She just brought up a
ran
New
off
York
of-
one. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It might tie back, but I don't know where the hell this came from. This is out of left field, bro. Just something about New York. She said it was the first judge, right? Right, guys? Y'all were watching, right? Okay, nice answer, nice.
She's like had a whole career as a homicide detective in the NYPD. She was actually attacked, beaten, and then ended up in the hospital. Afterwards, she was essentially shunned from the NYPD, essentially excommunicated from the force, and her next best gig was a desk job for the FBI. So this is the case that she's assigned to. Her experience is pretty clear when she arrives at the scene because she spots these claw marks on the bottom of the bathroom door that match the victim's swollen and raw fingers. She also notices the track marks in his arm. It's an overdose, yes, but the victim is clearly not an addict. The scene was purposefully staged by the victim's killer. The scene also matches a prior death case that Alice Black has on file. Alice makes the connection. Both staged overdoses, both men who hold power in different ways, and of course, like the killer. She thinks the killer is going to be the same person. In Hulu's new series, Fury.
Oh my god, you got me with that fucking ad. Stephanie, holy shit, what an ad. That caught me, bruh. I was like, maybe this is tying back to the video. Stephanie, what a fucking ad, bro. I need to learn from you.
Her third victim's life.
Oh, shit.
It's very clear this is not her
I need
first
to learn
time
from her.
meeting him. Really does. Lynch forces her hand and it scares her so with this, and the very last frame is so haunting. Whose new Alice desperately think you know is, and it was July 20.
What a fucking ad.
Like I said, with 16 counts of felony child endangerment. Bond was initially set at $300,000 for all 4 individuals, which is not the case anymore. But first, let's get into what we know about the 4 first. Elizabeth Siders, the 33-year-old, the alleged mother, is the one that a lot of people have opinions about online. She is the alleged mother of all 16 children, and netizens have started pinpointing out that her demeanor in the virtual court hearing was not what they were expecting. I guess people going in, they were comparing this case a lot to the Turpin case, where the parents were, I don't want to say that these parents are not similar, but I think they were expecting a very evil demeanor. I think they were going in expecting a cruel, heartless mother who wanted to abuse her children, perhaps for fun, perhaps for her own sake of pleasure. We don't know, right? But instead, they see the court hearing and they see a woman who looks a little bit more confused, more than anything. Like, she looks very dejected and confused. And netizens have noticed a mark on her left arm. It looks like a ligature mark. So the mark on her left arm does seem too high up to be a mark from handcuffs. and it seems like it's prominently on just one arm. I don't see it matching on the other arm. It's unclear if this is a ligature mark or when it was, where she got it. Like it's just, netizens are a little bit skeptical of the mark. People have also further dug deeper into her past. There are pictures of Elizabeth from before she marries Gary Jr. And I think it's gone viral because it's just so jarring to see the difference in the way she looks. She looks like a very normal person. I don't know if that's an offensive word to use, but she looks incredibly normal. She looks well adjusted. She looks like a typical teenager. And then you see her mugshot, and yeah, 15 years has passed, but it just doesn't make sense how she got set on this trajectory of life. They look like two completely different people. In addition to that, according to records, Elizabeth and Gary Jr. were married when Elizabeth was just 15 years old and Gary Jr. was 18 years old. Elizabeth's family have also come out on Facebook to allege that Gary Jr. started isolating Elizabeth from them when they got married when she was 15, which it's believed that they had to go out of state to legally get married. Marriage records show that Elizabeth being 15, Gary being 18, that would not be legal in the state of Ohio. But it is in the next state over, in West Virginia, which is where they went to file their marriage license.
That's crazy.
And 2 months after, they give birth to a child. One politician from West Virginia who helped pass a bill banning child marriages in West Virginia states, West Virginia was one of the only states in the country that didn't have a floor for the marriage at all. There were records in the past 20 years, like not 100 years ago, not 200 years ago, 20 years of children as low as 8 years old being married to grown adults, people in their 50s, 60s. Allegedly, one of her brothers, Jeremy Russell, this is Elizabeth's brother, alleged brother, has posted on Facebook, "My sister just wrapped her life up." I'm not entirely sure what that means. I don't know if it means like her life is over now that she's facing these charges, but he says, "Due to indoctrination, it is 100% real. 20 kids and younger than me, the math equals immature piece of shit man involved. I met this dude a couple months ago, shook my hand like a baby would, super soft hands, definitely never worked a day in his life. I should have took him out that night. It's been 15 years, you lost touch with your family, followed another, and look what happened."
Oh, he's also bashing the sister, you're saying?
Yeah.
And he said he met Gary Jr. a couple months ago?
Yeah.
Like just recently?
Mm-hmm.
Did he say he knew or didn't know the kids?
It seems like he's insinuating he didn't know that they had that many kids. A lot of the relatives have come out and they've stated that they knew that they had kids, but they didn't know exactly how many.
That's a pretty wild statement to say, though.
Yeah, how do you not know? Like, even my relatives that I don't talk to, I have a general idea, pretty firm idea, actually, of how many children they have. Yeah, it is odd. There is, though, a huge debate on whether or not Elizabeth, because she was married at 15 years old and had her first child, it's actually alleged that she had her very first child or gave birth to her very first child when she was 13. That child did not end up making it. The question is, was she groomed and kept almost as some sort of breeding machine, some sort of breeder? How much is she a victim in all of this? How much is she a perpetrator? Which, side note, all 4 defendants have been assigned public defenders. Elizabeth's attorney has been incredibly outspoken in this entire case, and some might even say, like, maybe a little too outspoken. He states in an interview that when he went to go talk to Elizabeth, he didn't really know what he was walking into with this case. Like, I'm sure he Googled it and it's bad. But he says that when he walked in there, he doesn't know what he was expecting, but he sees Elizabeth and he describes her as being very timid and exhausted.
I asked her if she had seen any of the coverage that has been online for the better part of a day now. She hasn't. She does not know how the home, the conditions, the investigation is being described. And I chose not to share all of those details with her at this point, because she does seem so fragile. The person that I met with, though, is not someone who comes across as pure evil.
All the defense attorneys have taken a very strong, seemingly a strong disliking towards the prosecutors describing this case as, quote, pure evil.
Evil requires malice, and the person that I saw there, Elizabeth, she doesn't have that in her eyes.
He says the thing that shocked him the most is one of the very first questions that she asked him was, "Are the kids okay? When can I see the kids? Do you know anything about where they are?"
Usually when people are in jail, they ask, "Can you get me out of here? When can I get out?" So I think that was telling.
Which a lot of people are saying, like, well, the bar is so low. Like, that's a little bit of a... People might agree that Elizabeth is a victim in her own sense and perhaps a perpetrator in a different sense to the children. But I guess I guess that statement was just kind of a little like, what? Elizabeth's attorney has filed a request for the judge to lower Elizabeth's bond, which has initially been set at $300,000. The argument being that, quote, the defendant is a 33-year-old mother with no known criminal history. There's been no indication that the defendant has been anything but cooperative with law enforcement since the initiation of this case. The attorney argues that she's not a danger to the community. She's not a risk to herself. She's not a risk to the children because all 16 children have been removed by the state. The attorney continues, through conversations with counsel, the defendant maintains that her principal desire is to reunite with her children. She understands that reunification of any sort is an impossibility if she does not appear before this court.
So did Elizabeth's attorney say anything about if she's a victim? Did they point fingers at...
Yes, he said that Elizabeth does not see herself as a victim, but he's still investigating. The prosecutors are still investigating. He's kind of hinting to the fact that he believes that she is. Does that mean that she should get away with no charges? I don't know, right? Like, I don't know if that's what he's insinuating. But he does state that he feels the $300,000 bond is excessive and it violates the 8th Amendment. So the 8th Amendment protection is against excessive bail. But it's interesting because he doesn't ask to lower the bond. He asks for a reconnaissance bond. So
what is that?
it just, like, no bond. Yeah. He argues that the investigators themselves have documented this home being in extreme poverty. So he's like, I mean, how do you expect her to come up with $300,000? That's not even in the realm of possibility. One person comments about Elizabeth and her motion to be released. What if she gets pregnant while she's out on bond?
By who?
But what if she does? I mean, she's gotten pregnant so many times. Why has she gotten pregnant? We don't know if someone has been forcing it upon her. We don't know if this is a choice that she willingly makes to get pregnant. What if she goes out on bond and gets pregnant? That would be yet another child brought into this world to be neglected and abused. I guess they're arguing, forget everything else. Like, what if she gets pregnant? A lot of other people who are a bit more sympathetic to Elizabeth are saying that they don't think that she should be let out on bond just because jail might actually be good for her.
Her living condition is pretty dire, you know, like
not in the sense of like she needs, well, she probably does need a lot of mental health care as well, but just the facilities is probably an upgrade from the house that they were living in. Others have no sympathy. I will say there are a group of people who genuinely don't think sympathy is warranted in this case. So I would say I would break it up into a few different camps. I think there is one camp who sees Elizabeth as part of the victims. So they see her kind of as part of the 16 children. They think that maybe she was restrained and forcibly impregnated all those times. They don't know, but they think that something weird must have happened in order for her to subject herself to this life. They think that she is a victim through and through. Then you have a group in the middle where they think that she was a victim. She was clearly groomed in the beginning, but maybe somewhere along the way, the lines between victim and perpetrator are getting a little bit blurry, and she still had some duty to protect her 16 children. And there were still moments where she was at a hospital where she could have alerted some authorities if there were any abuse ongoing. Then you have a group of people who say it doesn't matter if she started as a victim. At the end of the day, there are 16 victims that she neglected. And they say, quote, she smelled them every day as they laid near their feces. She heard their hunger cries. She saw the insects and roaches crawling on them. She saw their ignored tears. She didn't care. Her bond should not be revoked. Which, speaking of, there are rumors circulating, and some are saying that they have inside sources that have confirmed Elizabeth is pregnant in custody, that when they took her in, she was pregnant. This has not been proven. This has not been confirmed by any authorities, and I don't know how these inside sources would be able to, I mean, is that not like a HIPAA violation? It's kind of crazy, but that's the rumor going on. Elizabeth's attorney states,
I have previously stated that she does not necessarily characterize herself as a victim, but the investigation, prosecutor's office, investigation in my office is still locked up.
He says, I think this is a case more so of isolation than a case of evil. And I think there's an important distinction here. So this is the part where I feel like maybe the lawyer needs to stop doing some interviews. I think dispelling rumors or even advocating for your client are all really great things. But I think some of the arguments he makes is kind of like the Attorney General of Ohio, where it's like, I don't know why you said that. And now you're making people oppose you for no reason. So he's saying things like, he's insinuating this is more of a case of poverty than it is neglect. And it has a lot of people riled up because they're like, no, I grew up impoverished. Or some people are saying, no, I have children and I went through a time where I didn't have any money and I never treated any child like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a very tricky situation I think he's finding himself in.
Not the best approach.
Yeah, and he says, quote, because if that's all you know, and you have to think, someone at 15 years old doesn't know a whole lot about being an adult, about being a mother, about being a wife. That's been your worldview for the past 17, 18 years. You get shaped by that. And he continues to emphasize this is maybe more so about isolation than it is about evil. He states, I don't think we've seen any evidence to prove or to suggest that the children were locked or forced to remain in that 12 by 12 room. He says about Elizabeth being pregnant so frequently.
So what she's told me repeatedly is that she and Gary wanted a big family. I don't know if they wanted a family that was this big, but they repeatedly said, she's repeatedly said to me that she wanted a big family. She said that kids are a gift from God.
He says he was told by Elizabeth that some of the older kids had phones and their own social media. He said that it just doesn't jive with the way the case has been described to the public. He says it's his understanding that the kids can communicate and there's nothing to suggest that they were anything like, quote, feral kids, that term that is being used in the media. To which one netizen comments, the kids had social media, but the oldest couldn't even spell their own name at 18. The police literally said these children were feral, and if they had arrived a later day, some of them might have not even made it. The math is not mathing here. Others are commenting, well, he's just going off of what his client is telling him. Facts speak differently. Others stand a little bit more in the middle saying, this is just a lot to unpack. And the lawyer's perspective is definitely something to consider. Inside jokes and social media access don't necessarily disprove confinement, but it does paint a very different picture than what was initially presented. A lot of Elizabeth's family have also come out on Facebook to talk about how she was a normal teenage girl until Gary Jr. isolated her. And to make things murkier, Gary Jr.'s side of the family have also spoken out. So there's a guy named Ronnie Fletcher. He's the son-in-law of Gary Sider Sr. So this is Gary Jr.'s brother-in-law, Elizabeth's brother-in-law, I guess, by marriage. So Gary Jr. has a sister, and Ronnie is married to that sister.
Okay.
He comes out to do an interview where he states,
I mean, we've had death threats. We've been told that we need to be put in front of execution line of guns and, killed and, burned in, it's been bad. Gary and Lynn did not raise their children that way. They're the four daughters that got out are successful members of society. We've raised our children. Our children have, college degrees or, whatever, and for us to be put into all this and there's generational incest and, this is going on generational, it's not true.
So there's allegations of incest and stuff. It's not true. This is all into that one home. The last time we heard from them, we gave them a car, and it's probably close to a year now. Other than Lynn calling us and asking us for money or when they needed help with the water bill or whatever, if we had it, we sent it. If we didn't, one of the other daughters did. So we've
Who's
done.
Lynn? I'm sorry.
Lynn is Christina Siders, the grandma. They call her Lynn. Christina Lynn Siders.
She calls her. Okay.
So we've done what we could for that family at the arm's length that they was keeping us at.
Ronnie reportedly states that he knew that they had a large family, but, they thought it was probably closer to 10 children. And he only found out the truth when the news broke online. He says, if we would have known that it was like that in that home, we would have done something about it, even if it was just go there and take the kids ourselves or give them money. He says his family is terrified for their lives and now they have to live like hermits because everyone's upset with them. He says, quote, how am I supposed to start a business in this community when I'm being stapled to the face of pure evil? Ronnie says about the prospect of Elizabeth being seen as a victim, he says she's willingly there at the home. She did not have a good home life when they got together, escaped to Gary Sr. and Lynn's home. So he's almost saying like she escaped her rough family life to come here. And no one forced her to stay. Like that seems to be what he's insinuating. Elizabeth's family has fought back on some of those statements in their own post. Gary Sr.'s attorney has also chimed in who is also another public defender, but he says, I do know that there's been a lot of social media postings and family members or just some family members have sort of wanted to chime in with their 2 cents. I take some of that in with a grain of salt. One of the most vocal voices in this case thus far is Elizabeth's alleged brother, Joey. Joey posts a lot of videos where he's lip syncing to country songs, typically in a very exaggerated fashion, and he's kind of like bopping up and down as
Nigga, is that a pentagram on his chest? What the fuck am I looking at here? Oh, this is a filter too, buddy. No, hell no. Where's this shit at? Harlan, do you remember where this state was? This looks like Texas. Where is it? Do you know? Yo, brother, great fucking response. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you sleep, bro. I'm gonna look at where the fuck this case is at. 16 children.
Hello?
Case in
No,
which
I thought it was
state?
Georgia.
Saying, you
Ohio. It's in Ohio.
What? No person from Ohio sounds like that, bro.
Bro, this shit looks like Texas. Do you see Buddy right here? That looks like a goddamn pentagram on his chest. You see that shit? Buddy got the cowboy hat and everything, man. I want look at him, king of gone country.
Cowboy hat, and you live in the Northeast. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Look-
buddy, like Midwest,
look-
Midwest. You live in the Midwest, and you pulling up. Like, bro, let's flex now.
I'm more so looking at the tats on dude's
if
body.
he's riding a horse. I'm not entirely sure. It's like more akin to when you're practicing being a pop star in your bedroom at 3 a.m. than a typical TikTok trend. It's a lot, but also I am the last person to judge considering my very embarrassingly extensive digital footprint. But he does seem like he's been out there for a while. And that is moderately important considering netizens have accused him of trying to use this case to try and get famous. He's been quite vocal about supporting Elizabeth. Joey will post videos on Facebook where he's lip syncing to the words,
I don't give a damn about what people think of me anymore. If you want to judge
Oh
me,
my God.
do it. It
I
no
hate
longer concerns me.
I actually have no clue where this audio
Bro, what is that?
Bro, I can't,
Oh
bro.
my god.
Yeah, turn this shit off, bro. Turn it off.
Judge me, do it.
Yeah, just do it.
I'm crying, bro.
Oh, shit.
The way he looks like one of those old the way he's moving looks like one of those old anime TikToks where they're like this shit and then they're doing this or this and it's fucking reminding me of that, bro. Holy shit.
I love that though.
The way he's moving is killing me. I mean, some of it is satisfying, the way they move, but the way he's moving is it's like bro, what are you doing, bro? Please stop.
It no longer concerns me.
I actually have no clue where this audio is from. It does sound like AI Vin Diesel. Pretty sure it's AI Vin Diesel because when I go on TikTok and I look up that sound, it's a bunch of Vin Diesel clips in interviews, but the words don't match with his lips. I think it's AI Vin Diesel, but it could also not be. It could be Vin Diesel, real Vin Diesel. But he writes in the video, pro Elizabeth, king of gone country. I guess,
Nigga, is that an AI?
Oh.
Nigga, is that an AI? Oh my god. Is this AI? Family over everything. I can't read what that says. Something I don't know. Damn near looks like unbearable. I don't know. But what the fuck, bro?
Elizabeth, king of gone country. I guess.
King of Gone Country?
Yeah, I don't know if that's he just likes calling something gone country and
Okay.
being the king of it, I suppose, right? But one of the top comments reads, praying for her and her children, pro reunification. He's also making AI photos of himself. and his
Oh,
sister
blood
hugging.
bonds unbreakable.
Like, looks like it's outside of
Psalms
jail.
91.
Like right outside the gates of jail. Like not outside of jail, but like in front of the jail.
But has he say anything specific, or is just these random posts?
More so random posts, and he does lay down some allegations. However, it doesn't appear that he was really present in Elizabeth's life, so it's unclear how much.
She knows. Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not saying anything about the case. It's just free Elizabeth.
Yeah, and maybe more so like emotionally compelling arguments, but not so many where I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
But emotionally compelling in the sense of it does make you feel very sympathetic. Right. But he captions things like family over everything, blood bonds unbreakable. Joey's also fighting back to internet users who have been posting negative things about him and his family. And he writes in all caps, "Don't worry, guys. I'm not worried about what people say on my posts. They're just immature humans that don't know their asses from holes in the ground. A box of rocks are smarter than half the people saying stuff. And if you don't like me, why are you coming to my page?" He's also reposting a lot of supporters' threads on Facebook that reads, "For those that feel Elizabeth is a human being who fell through the cracks, who spent her entire life in a cycle of abuse, neglect, and trauma. She is housed in Ohio Regional Jail, scared, alone, uneducated, and visibly emotional in a court hearing. She needed help. She still needs help. For those of us who have compassion for her, here's how you can help her now. You can send her a meal through iCare, and you can add money to her commissary so she can get hygiene, snacks, paper, shower shoes, a hairbrush, things she clearly has done without for decades." They argue that, quote, "If she was uncaring and malicious, she could have left all the babies and ran, but she stayed. She couldn't leave them, and he just kept climbing on top of her for his own gratification." There has been, I think, aside from the very controversial and, quite frankly, in my opinion, should be illegal age of their marriage, I think that a lot of people have been drawing from the setup of society and in large personal anecdotes. So I couldn't find evidence, hard evidence, of a lot of the different arguments from all the different camps.
Yeah.
So I think there is a lot of emotions getting involved with this case. I mean, of course, when you're dealing with 16 children who are found in that type of condition, it makes you try to think of how that happened. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that she was also being used, and some people have insinuated that perhaps Gary Jr. is the biggest abuser, and even the grandparents have been abused. So there's just a lot of circulating theories out there. Others are posting on Facebook supporting Joey, saying things like, "I believe she was likely the only thing standing between those children and death." So I think there's a lot of nuance to this case where you do have a large group of people who are arguing that this is a systematic problem where when the system fails women at girls at the age of 15, allows them to get married, allows them to live in these impoverished conditions with no form of education, of course, this is how their life is going to turn out. And so there must be some level of sympathy that must be given to these individuals. But then you have another group of people who argue that there have actually been a lot of women in far worse conditions, whether it be in this country or in developing nations, that have the innate internal maternal instinct to protect their kids no matter the cost, because they believe that is biological in a woman when they become a mother. So there's been a lot of arguments and like both sides of the coin, I guess. It just really depends, right? But then Joey does start kind of bringing up some weird stuff. Okay, so Joey starts messaging a guy named Debojit Das, who claims to be an ex-boyfriend of the eldest daughter of the 16 children. I don't know. I feel like Joey's getting scammed. I mean, maybe scammed is not the appropriate
Is this a
word.
real person with a face and everything, or no?
No, they're just like messaging Joey
Must
from
be
what
a
I can
lark.
tell so far. I mean, that could change based on the recording of this episode, and this could very well be a real situation that's occurring. But I feel like Joey is getting bamboozled. Okay.
So what happened?
So this guy is talking to Joey and they're just instant messaging, and Joey is telling him like, "Oh, I haven't seen my niece since around 2008, which is now 2026. So he hasn't seen his niece since 8 years ago. He mentions that because the last time I seen them, they were still under 5. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing because the math is not mathing. This is allegedly the boyfriend of the eldest daughter, but she would have been closer to 10 in 2008.
Yeah.
I don't know. But also, like, there is a point of contention that people have of how can family members speak so passionately when they don't really know what's going on. But I can understand the conviction of wanting to defend your family members regardless of how much time has passed. But he writes, "I thought my nieces didn't have internet access. Cops and the AG being the Attorney General of Ohio, lied. I just sent this, so something ain't right." So he posts on Facebook the screenshots of him talking to an individual named Debojit, who was allegedly one of the girl's ex-boyfriends. And he's like, "Oh, here are my screenshots of me dating your niece." So
What's
then
the screenshot? Do we know?
it's just like messages of like, hi. There's like a voice note where she says hello, but it's hard to identify if that is even her. These are easily fakeable messages. I'm not saying they are faked, but it wouldn't be difficult to fake them. But he posts on Facebook, Joey is like, I thought my nieces couldn't read or write. These are messages between her and her ex-boyfriend. He says they had to break up because of their neighbor, Mike. He sent proof of everything. The lies need to stop. The speculation needs to stop. Clearly the neighbors knew. Clearly she could read, write, and speak. We just want the damn truth. Praying night and day for my nieces and nephews. Yeah, so it's just,
it's just so unclear.
Yeah, but I also think the argument stands, but not really, in the sense of, I don't think the point of contention is if they can read or write. I think just the fact that they were found in those conditions is the point.
Yeah.
Also, Joey has served time for endangering children, resulting in serious physical harm to a child, felony of the 3rd degree. So the court sentenced Joey Russell to a 36-month prison term, which was the maximum penalty for his crime.
To who? Do we know? Is it a family member? Or?
Seems like it. Yeah. A woman named Tiffany Saunders posts on Facebook again, and it's very hard to verify any of these Facebook posts, but she says, I'm making this post for the sake of truth and truth only, but for clarity. I'll go ahead and say this about the situation because I'm moving on because I have to. Lots of you know Lynn, aka Christina Siders. So this is the grandmother. Is my grandma Diana's first cousin. Okay, it gets confusing. It's not really necessary, right? She's saying that they're related in that way, but she's also related to Elizabeth Siders because her daughter's biological father and Elizabeth's mom are sibling. Anyway, I think this is where people are alleging that Elizabeth and Gary Jr. are distant cousins. I couldn't find proof that they are distant cousins other than rumors and then like some very confusing words of who's related to who. But I did sit there and I worked out this little family tree, and they are not biologically related if this is what people are basing off of that allegation from.
Oh, I see.
Right. But I don't know, maybe there's other proof somewhere out there. Tiffany continues to write, these are some of the pictures of Elizabeth that I took right before or right around when her and Gary Jr. met. She had her whole life ahead of her. While part of me wonders if she wasn't mentally conditioned to think most of this was okay, the mom in me knows it doesn't matter. There's absolutely no excuse for dragging your kids or any human through your BS to this degree. In my opinion, she's guilty to an extent simply because she is an adult. The justice system will handle the situation however it sees fit. I'm cool with that because, what should happen in a situation like this? What does real justice look like here? I don't know, because that's a decision I'm way underqualified to make. But I feel like this also needs to be said. Lots of people failed those babies, and they continue to fail lots of others all over and keep the pattern continuing by not intervening when things aren't quite right. People all over the USA right now keep saying, oh my God, how does this even happen? Most people can't fathom, and I really wish I couldn't either, but here's an idea: generational poverty, deeply embedded trauma, mental and physical illness, systemic failure by other family and community members, all mixed into one big horrible mess. It's nearly impossible to escape any unhealthy situation without the proper tools, without the proper resources. Maybe I'm wrong to believe this, but I think with only a couple exceptions in this particular case, like the tremendous amount of kids they had, actual living conditions, these poor children were, and in fact, the children were basically hidden away in a 12 by 12 room. All the rest of this story, there are very similar situations all over the area, and most people turn a blind eye to it. From the child marriage to no education, living in unhealthy environments, and living in extreme poverty, it's all pretty much normal to a lot of people, I personally think. It's almost like it's deeply embedded for people to turn a blind eye because they're already struggling themselves. Or these are uncomfortable situations and topics to think about. That has also been a huge thing where people are saying, I don't know why Americans are so shocked right now that this is happening in their country, when you can just go to West Virginia and see one of the most impoverished states in the entire nation and see that this is something that's happening out in the open, and it's pretty blatant.
Interesting.
So I do think it's a very nuanced conversation of how much does poverty impact one's ability to be able to have autonomy over the amount of children they have, but also how to be able to care for the children. And how much is it, malice versus, oh, this is what my parents did to raise me, so I'm going to do the same thing, and I don't know anything else or anything better. So I guess
Man.
that is a very nuanced conversation that's taking place. And I think depending on everybody's socioeconomic backgrounds, people have a lot of different stances. I do think this is a conversation where it is really important to probably face privilege when you feel like you have a very strong negative opinion, right? I guess. See how much that plays into it, which has been, something people have been talking about. But because still 16 children seems beyond excessive, even in those conditions, right? It seems like an outlier. People have been trying to find a motive. Like, was this some sort of obsession? Was having children an obsession for Elizabeth or Gary Jr.'s or both? Elizabeth's attorney did say that Elizabeth told him children are a gift from God and she loves having kids. Like, was it that? Was this some sort of like 4-person cult, 1-person cult, 2-person cult? Because again, the wording children are a gift from God is very specific. And Elizabeth's older brother believes that she was, quote, indoctrinated, which is again, a very specific word. Or were they getting something else of having the children? Primarily, the big motive question was state care. So the prosecutor responds to a question from a reporter about whether or not the family was receiving state benefits for everyone, which again would answer a very big motive question.
To my knowledge, only the two elderly, the two oldest, Mr. Grandma and Grandpa, were the only ones I'm aware of that were receiving benefits at that time, at the time of this incident.
So they're not using the children to get some sort of state-funded assistance. So why do they keep having kids? We really don't know. I mean, none of the children were ever enrolled in schools. And I think that this case has been kind of a reckoning on a lot of state-funded systems. So the first question was, a lot of the children seem to have been born in local area hospitals, which is what Elizabeth's attorney has alleged. Which means if Elizabeth is going to hospitals and giving birth to these children, was there not any point, any medical intervention should have stepped in? So that seems to be a big question of like, was there failure there? Then there's another question of why is Ohio so relaxed with homeschool laws? Back then, the law did get changed. A bill was passed. So apparently back then, you would have to tell administrators of a school what you were doing to homeschool your children. Like you would have to give them like a whole blueprint of your whole plan to educate your kids because they can't just be running around not being able to read and write. That was the whole objective, right? There's a lot of paperwork that gets processed. A lot of people get involved. Now, apparently, you can walk in and say, I'm going to homeschool my kid, and that's it.
That's crazy.
You don't have to tell them what you're doing. I guess this is the whole, like...
You gotta tell Stephanie she's lying? Huh?
No, I mean, it's not
like,
that
bro.
easy to get someone homeschooled.
I mean, it kind of is. My brother, when he left our house and moved in with my other grandparents, they just said, oh yeah, you're not going to school, and guess what? He never graduated. So
I don't know, man. It's very...
I mean,
this
yeah, you can do that, but I
whole-
can probably guarantee you they did not do it correctly. You cannot, like, it's very hard. It's very hard to just homeschool one. Because
Well, I
you
mean,
have to you have to have check-ins too, by the way. When you're homeschooling someone, you have to have check-ins. I'm pretty sure.
well,
I mean,
they
well,
never did.
she's saying it's
Yeah,
easy,
they-
though. She's saying it's easy. That all they have to do is just go in there and say that. So that's why she's saying like they're very very low profile when it comes to the way that they're able to homeschool these people. Like she said that it shouldn't be so chill. You know what I'm saying? Because she basically said that you're able to just go in and say, hey, my kid's getting homeschooled, and then walk out. Like, there's no way they should let that, bro. But like, I'm trying to save my thoughts for the end of the video.
Okay,
it's almost
so you have
almost
to have-
done. What's up?
But like they have to have check-ins. Like it's like mandatory test in like 5, 7, and 9. I just looked it up. So like if you're not up to par, then low key you're gonna get cooked. So
I mean, I'm just going off.
that's just a fail on once again the government. I mean, at the end of the day, just a fail on the government for not actually doing their fucking job correctly. I'm not surprised at the end of the day because fucking government.
I mean, like I said, it seems like it is. If it's that chill, something's got to be done, especially in Ohio. Because what do you mean? I could just walk in and say my kid's getting homeschooled. I could dead ass just not teach him anything for 18 years. But there's no way that you have 16 kids and nobody, no medical or even the, you know, the state is like, damn, maybe these children need to be checked up on. 16 kids? Excuse me, what? And no one said anything. We were just letting it slide. Like, there's no way no one checked up. No one. Like the child protective services. But at the same time, I mean, if she said this happened in a damn little town of 700 people. She said there's only 10 sworn officers in, bro. 10. 10? That's all we got. It seems like it's, I don't know, man, like the state's not run properly.
I kid.
Not
I
once the
don't know
state, but the
argument, okay.
the
I
town
really don't know.
or the yeah.
So the question is, like, were they really that good at hiding the children, like the Attorney General of Ohio State, or is the system just like not really doing its job? One resident does recall seeing at least some of the kids once at a local yard sale, and she did in fact notice that they appeared dirty, but she just assumed like the dirt and grime on them was they had been playing outside. The police haven't confirmed that every
That's
single
valid.
child belongs to Elizabeth and Gary Jr. There are DNA tests being done. There are some people out there that believe and are speculating that older children could have given birth to some of the younger children. This is basically an internet rumor. A lot of that speculation seems to stem from the idea that they believe there is no physical way in which Elizabeth could be able to give birth to 4 sets of twins back to back. So remember in 2022, she had a set of twins that passed in the hospital, but her last births were allegedly 4 sets of twins.
Yeah.
And so they're just saying like your body is incapable of doing that. Like that would be nearly impossible, especially in the malnourished, lack of nutrition state that Elizabeth was probably living in. It just doesn't make sense to them how that's possible. But authorities have not confirmed that the children were essayed or harmed in that way or that there was any incest going on. So I just do want to make that very clear. Elizabeth's attorney states again that he believes that all 16 children belong to Elizabeth. A reporter did ask the prosecutor, has any testing been done to assure that all 16 children belong to the same person? He responds vaguely, I can't address that. Did the children have birth certificates? The prosecutor takes a moment and responds very carefully.
I don't know that we have all of their
Ooh,
birth certificates. Let me
absolutely.
answer that.
I love
Were
Stephanie
they all
stuff.
registered with the state?
Yes.
Again, a
absolutely.
little bit beyond what I can I answered you what
She's
I did want to
gas.
know at this point.
So things could have changed. It seems like they did locate most of the birth certificates, but one reporter asked the prosecutors, do you know of any children's services safety checks conducted at that
Swear.
home? Were
Yes,
there any
bro.
mandatory
Especially like the whole
reportings,
McKinsey
especially by
show, man.
hospitals or medical
Yes.
officials?
Yeah, I can't address that. Sorry.
As of filming this, of the 4 adults, one of them has already been released. Gary Sr., the grandpa, has since pled not guilty by reason of insanity. He
I mean, look at him.
An evaluation, well, his attorney is demanding an
Bro,
evaluation to
look at
determine
him.
whether or not he's competent to stand trial. And the reason that he was released is not even because of his potential incompetency. It's the fact that July 8th, they were scheduled for a preliminary hearing, and as they were transporting Gary Sr. to the courthouse from the jail, he falls. They take him to the hospital because he fell. They run a bunch of tests on him, and they realize, holy shit, he's got so many serious medical conditions that require specialized care, which is basically the only reason they let Gary Sr. out on bond. The prosecutor on this case says to the community very bluntly, practically, and I don't know if you folks know this or not, but when defendants are housed in county jails, it is the county's responsibility to pay for the medical care. Prisons are for defendants who have been convicted. Then the state of Ohio has to pay for it. But he's still an innocent man that has not been convicted yet, so the county was going to be on the hook for his medical care. Vinton County, also one of the smallest rural counties in Ohio.
Mr. Sider Sr. has a serious medical condition that requires specialized care. His medical care could potentially bankrupt Vinton County.
The prosecutor states we're not going to put that burden also on our local
Whole
taxpayers.
county.
So it was agreed that we would do a recognizance bond so that he could get the medical treatment that the doctors say that he needs, and it won't cost the county that money. If he's released from the hospital, he will then be equipped with a GPS monitor. The medical care is going to be paid for probably on a federal level, I would imagine. That's what I think would happen. I'm not too well versed in like the pipeline of medical care for individuals who have no access.
That's interesting.
It seems like it would be taken care of on a federal level, but I'm not entirely sure. His attorney states he's entitled to his presumption of innocence and that his guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. The state needs to prove that they may, the facts may bear out or they may not, that he may be found not guilty or not competent or himself a victim. So until we all know what's going on, I would ask the viewers to take a breath, take a step back, and let the process play out. Which, speaking of, a gag order is now in place for the prosecutors, which is not it's not like entirely uncommon for high profile cases, but essentially the defense attorneys have filed stating that there have been lots of statements made by the prosecution that seem to be prejudicing the right to a fair trial. Basically saying it's pure evil, calling it the House of Horrors, calling them just like feral children, all of these things they think is not good. We are just going to have to wait to see how this plays out in court, which, by the way, I do think maybe the Attorney General of Ohio should stop talking about this case because of some of the problematic remarks that he's made, but that's an opinion, right? I guess we will just have to see how this plays out in court, whether all of them are going to... I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. There is maybe an argument that potentially black mold is in the house. That seems to be an angle that could be played. Black mold poisoning can be similar to dementia and cause brain fog, sudden mood swings, depression, anxiety, insomnia, chronic fatigue, headaches.
Ooh.
I don't know. Some people believe that the grandma was taking care of the kids, and when her health declined, it caused this entire thing to go down. But all we know right now is each charge carries a minimum sentence of 2 to 8 years in prison with a maximum sentence of 12 years. So a potential maximum sentence on all 16 counts could end up being 192 years for each defendant. State social workers say they've received dozens of calls from local residents in the county offering donations, offering to help with long-term care for the children. They just passed, they just approved $1 million to support the children. They're estimating the care to be around $100 to $250 per day per child for the rest of this fiscal year. But I just don't know like how much that will impact. I think that there probably will need to be a lot more resources poured into the 16 children if the conditions are as bad and as extreme as the prosecutors are describing them to be, which I tend to agree with just based off the pictures that I saw of the outside of the house looking in. But what are your thoughts on this case? That is so far what we have on the 16 children's case in Ohio, the House of Horrors. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.
Oh my God. What? Hey, y'all know how I am, so I'm going to ask y'all first because I'm going to rant. Well, I wouldn't say rant, but I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on it, so I'm going to let y'all talk first. What do y'all have anything y'all feel like saying? Anything?
It's just neglect from all sides, to be honest. Like, there's nothing I can say besides just neglect. Literally. Government did a terrible job. Parents did a terrible job. Grandparents did a terrible job. Literally. Failed the children. Failed the mother. If it is true, that's all 16 of her children. Right. Terribly failed the mother. At that point, we might have to start pulling China rules. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Bro.
Well,
I'm just saying.
What?
No, because I think it's just a law.
Can you really blame the old man though?
Look.
Yes.
Bro. The old man, bro. I ain't gonna lie. All the pictures they showed me, he looks the exact same in every single one of them. Like he doesn't know where he's at.
Exactly.
Genuinely, he does not. I'm gonna wait before I start yapping. Madison, do you have anything you want to say?
Basically the same thing, but I don't know if I could blame the old man. I mean, he kind of just looks like he's had problems all his life. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
Okay, so one, I'm kind of a little disappointed because now I'm actually very interested, right? I'm actually very interested in the case now because watching Stephanie, she just, explains everything so well. So like, I want to know more, right? But unfortunately with it being so damn brand new, we really only heard about Elizabeth. We didn't hear shit else about the other 3 people at all, especially the quote unquote husband. We didn't hear shit about him at all.
I was like
it was just really a lot on Elizabeth because I guess her attorney, which mind you, 4 public defendants were cooked. Like, we are cooked. If they have a decent any decent prosecutors on the other side, it is raps for these people. But it is like, bro, I feel like Jesus freak, bro. Why are you jump scaring me? Knock. Knock. Oh my god, damn. Get out, nigga. Get out. Yes. But like, bro, I don't want you watching me while I'm yapping. Like, you look weird as shit. What do you want?
Can't talk to you.
No, not right now. In a minute. I don't care. You're staring at me. But it's like there's for everybody to fail them on all sides of this, right? Like you said, Arlen, the grandparents failed, the mother failed, the father failed. They all even bro, the state failed, bro. Everybody has failed these fucking kids. There is no way in hell you do this shit in any other state or even any other town, bro, where you have 16 kids and not a single person is checking up on these children. There is no way. 16 children and no one is like, hey, let's do a little check, see where the kids are, you know, they gotta see where they're at mentally and all that. 16 kids and not a single person was like, hey, maybe we should like check up on these children. And then here goes fucking Joey, which is fucking his damn country shit, his damn country hat. Joey's getting fucking scammed by some random ass nigga online named, I don't even know, Dope G, whatever the fuck, right? And he's like, oh, my nieces and nephews can't. I bet you were wrong. But like I'm telling you, it's like still though, like there's no way that they're living in these conditions and they have any type of social media. I really doubt that. There's no way. The mom looks so out of touch. Don't even get me started on grandpa. Grandpa, I don't even know if that nigga knows he's alive. The grandma, we're hearing barely anything about her. Now, if Elizabeth is treated as some sort of breeder, which is fucking crazy to say, it's very upsetting, right? Because, you know, I don't want anything like violence against women is very high, right? But I mean, I can't even give a straight up any like one-sided opinion because I mean, it's so damn early that we don't know whether if the husband is like that or if the mom is in on it too. Like they said, she had that mark on her arm, but she only had it on. It looked like it was only on the top part of her forearm too. It didn't even look like it was around the whole arm. It looked like it was only on the top part. And I mean, black mold, if they think that does play a part, I'm not gonna lie. I think I've told y'all before though, but like black mold is one of the things that have almost taken me out of this world. Black mold is fucking, it's really bad, right? I'm not necessarily only me, but I'm just saying black mold dead ass almost killed me. So I mean, I get if they do talk about how it does play a part, but bro, look at how y'all have the house, my nigga. Look at the house. Look at the house. The house looks crazy. The house literally looks abandoned, and there is 16 kids in a little ass space that is the size of a damn parking spot. Maybe a little bit bigger. Like there's no way, bro. Somebody in the state, some neighbors, some family members, somebody has to know, bro. There's literally no way. I don't care if you don't think. And then they were talking about some, oh, I didn't think it was that bad. I think it was closer to 10. 10 is still a lot of fucking kids, bro. 10 is still a lot of kids. Like, I think 5 is a lot of kids. Yeah, I think 5 is a lot of kids. Like, 10 is a lot of kids, bro.
What the fuck?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I need to hear more. I want to hear more. I need them to come out with more information because I don't think the I don't know, man. I mean, I guess with the demeanor of her, how she looks, it does look very timid. It does look very scared. It does look very, you know.
What does the mother look like again?
She here, let me see if I can find her on here real quick. But the mom looks very like fragile or frail, if that's the way to put it. She just looks very Like,
Also, bro,
like right here. She looks. Hold on, so I gotta bring her up.
Jr. and 33-year-old
And her,
Elizabeth Siders.
Elizabeth, right? We don't hear shit about Gary. Gary Jr. Forgot they got the
this
same damn
motherfucker
name.
had okay. Seeing the picture again, yeah, this guy is not in the right of that. But I'm not gonna lie, 20 years, I mean, about 18 years, that's about 53. So he was in the right mind 18 years ago. So,
I mean, yeah, but like, let's say that they did dead ass, because they're saying that they got married, right? When he was 18 and she was 15. This nigga's weird. What the fuck? What? And then where are her parents? She said that they snuck off. Nigga, if my kid's 15, on God. Like, there's no way. What the fuck? Where'd you go?
My internet cut out.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, we were talking about how, like, you know, if Elizabeth and Gary did get married, like, Gary's kind of weird. Not kind of weird, is weird. It's because you're 18 marrying a 15-year-old. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me? And I said, where are Elizabeth's parents? Because I would be tracking my fucking daughter down. Like, you're not doing that. Like, no. It's weird, bro. This case is very weird. It looks like all these niggas don't give a fuck. It genuinely just looks like that. They all don't give a fuck.
I'll say the mother, I think
She just looks sad.
the out of all the adults, she's the victim.
No, whoa, I can't paint that picture yet. I can't say she's a victim.
I'm sorry. You don't make a woman have 16 children. If that's if
I don't know. There's not that much information on this fucking case. We ain't hear shit about Gary Jr. We barely heard about her. We just know Grandpa. Grandpa don't know where the fuck he's at. Look, Grandpa deadass does not know where he's at, bro. I mean, I would expect the mother to be. I really hope that, you know, she actually does care for her kids, and that, I don't want to say hope that she is a victim, because fuck, that's very desensitized, but it's like, I mean, it's, I wouldn't want her to be some sort of monster.
Mom, I'm pretty sure the dad is like the one that's going to work and everything, having to deal with more than 5 children. I think
I don't think any of them were working. I don't think any of them were working. I didn't hear nothing about any single one of them working, because these two are getting benefits, right? I heard Stephanie say that. I don't think either of these are working. I don't think they are. Because I didn't hear any of that when she was talking.
151 days till Christmas.
Holy shit. You got ADHD. Like, oh my God, we're talking about a case. Guys, 151 days until Christmas. 151 days. Like, what?
My bad.
But yeah, I mean, I want to hear more about this. I do. I genuinely want to hear more about this. And I wonder, have they freaking sentenced those 2 kids that were trying to resurrect? I'm spelling that wrong. School shooter case sentenced. Oh my God, holy shit, I cannot spell. Isabel Valdez, yada yada yada, lawyers have not been sentenced yet. Okay, they're still pending. They're still pending. Bro, how long? Because that case has been going on for a little minute now. Since March. I guess these shits.
Also, Florida, who's fucking surprised, bro?
I would have been surprised anywhere. These are children conspiring to murder another kid. So, I mean, I don't know. It's sad, man. It's sad. 16 kids in a little ass area. It's sad. That the town though, bro, they gotta do better. What do you mean 10 officers? Start adding benefits or something, bro. Cause golly, you gotta get more on deck. 10? You might need 10 for one case if there's a shooter. What's going on? 10? What is that? It's not helping. Oh man. And then her attorney is speaking out a lot, which, you know, like Stephanie said, isn't bad, but there's a point where you gotta stop yapping, man. You gotta stop yapping. Well, I guess that's it, man. I'm done watching crime for the night. It's 3 a.m. I'm about to get off here. But it was fun.
Go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed.
It's only
3
3
a.m.
a.m.
It's only 3 a.m. What the fuck else do you want me to watch? I'm done. I'm done.
Guys, let's play some Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, we're joking.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
I'm in the stream chat. Thank you for